Hello, everybody. I think my camera is off center here. Let's see if it'll turn here. Why isn't it turning? There it goes. Hello, everybody. I think I'm live. Let me activate here. I remembered I was recording some personal readings this morning, and I remember my camera moved, but I didn't realize it until just now that it had been moved off. In fact, I think it's a little crooked too. Let's see here. Whoa. Good enough. Hello, everybody. So happy to see you and happy Thursday evening to you. I'm all discombobulated now. I gotta get back on track here. Okay, I think I'm good. But hello. Oh, it's Thursday. It's a wonderful time of life, and I'm excited to see what blessings and information comes through spirit this day for us. So, welcome, everybody. Hope you're having an amazing day too. Before we get started, we're going to take a big, deep breath. If you'd like to join me and come out of the future, come out of the past, out of the chaos, into this wonderful place of peace and unconditional love in this now moment. And then we'll bring in the singing bowl for more energy as well. So, if you'd like to join me, let's begin. Big, deep breath in. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I will, as I do, hit the singing bowl 3 times. As we're doing that, we can just let that love that's within us expand, that eternal unconditional love go up into our brains and all of our thoughts and our beliefs and into our hearts and all of our emotions, into our physical bodies, into all our cells and our joints and our muscles and just everything in our physical world and our spiritual energy, all of our chakras, our meridians, our auras, and like we are a singing bowl, we fill up and then let that vibrate out to the outside world, letting it do what it would like to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet, because it definitely can use a little oomph and a little support to raise that love vibration. A lot of fear going on in the outside world, right? So, a lot going on out there, right? So we'll send some love as we do that. And if we're focusing on one little thing we're grateful for in the moment, that immediately begins to raise our vibration as well. So if you want to do that, um, that enables you to receive more messages from spirit and more of what you're grateful for to come back as well. So here we go. So buckle up and remember gratitude. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Beautiful energies as per usual. So thank you so much for joining me. So welcome, Zen friends. Excited for this evening's energies. And if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. We do have a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts, great senses of humor, and I always say those are two amazing things to have as a human on this human adventure. And I'm very grateful that you guys have a sense of humor because I do love to laugh. So thank you so much. There's always room for more Zen friends. So welcome, welcome. If you want to know how any of the processes work, everything's listed down in the description area of the video. Free readings are first come, first serve. They're generally 1 to 2 card readings. You'll just put your question out there, or ask for a general reading if you don't want to put your business, or you're not sure what you want to hear, but you want to hear from spirit. You can ask for a general reading. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. Prioritize those readings. Step out of the free readings. Dive deeper, meaning we pull more tea with your brother Z. And you also get a fortune cookie of some kind, an oracle of some kind, to round out your reading. And if you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat down at the bottom or in the description area of the video. I do have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Square, and now Google Play. I believe I have it set up. I haven't tested it yet, but I do have it out there. If you want to do that, if you want to make a donation, I don't have any set dollar amounts, whatever you give from your heart. I know you're giving what you can, and I do honor that. I also understand not everyone is in the position to give. So I do get to free readings every session. If 2.5 hours in, I have not completed any free readings, I do step away from donations, dive into those free readings for at least 30 minutes, go back and finish donations. And after that, I go back and finish out free readings most of the time. So at the end of each session, I do post a pinned comment listing all of the readings completed with timestamps. Yes, we are very fancy here on Bretta Z's channel. um, so all you have to do is find that pinned comment, look for your name, click on it. The timestamp takes you right to your reading. Like I said, super fancy. Also, every new moon and full moon, I do have a giveaway. I do offer personal readings at a donation, and also what else? Energetic hedges. Those are the big two things I offer outside of these sessions. But every new moon and full moon, I do have a giveaway where I give away one 30-minute personal recorded reading or one of my energetic hedges, whichever you prefer. And so that's every new moon, full moon. We have one coming up here. Here is the Linky Poo on March 18th. I was going to say February, and I was going to say January. I'm like, no, we're already in March. So that's next week already. So I will put out a video of the winner on that day, but check that out if you want to see um, how to get into that drawing. And I just posted, like, within an hour or so ago, making the most of the new moon energy for Pisces new moon. Kind of split it off into 2 separate videos. One that has all the general that applies to every new moon. But if you guys have already watched and you're familiar with it, I kind of felt like saying it every time uh, makes it a bit laborious for you, I guess. That's my opinion anyway. How I would probably feel if I'm like, "Ugh, I already know all this." So I have it on a separate video of the basics of new moon energy, making the most of new moon wishes and that. But then I'll put a separate video out um, every 2 weeks, for the new moon and full moon. So I'll have a little separate making the basics of those. But that's all free. The playlists are always all in the description area or on my main page as well if you ever want to go back and check them out and see how to make the most of those energies. And then, of course, I also have a podcast called The Easier Path. Every 2 weeks, I put out a podcast, and it's all about talking about one of my dramas or traumas in my life. And there, you guys can all relate to them because really, no human has a unique experience. We all experience the same type of fear, just expressed in different ways. So we can usually all relate to each other in some way, somehow at the root. And so we talk about that and why the human does what it does, and spirit's perspective on it, and then also hints from spirit on how to make it an easier path instead of a harder one if we want, right? Because we don't need to have a easier path if we don't want one. I learned a lot the hard way. I don't judge. So those are the biggies, I believe, that we have there. So I'll move that out of the way. We'll do some shout outs, make sure I have all the lists all updated, and we'll dive in. We're going to use the Phantom Wise Tarot. Again, I really like this black and white, simple kind of deck, but I like their artistry and the energies. So we'll continue to use that. And the Queen of the Moon Oracle for donations. Your fortune cookie, your first one is this one with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And then if there's an additional one, we will use the Dreamers deck, which is this one here, just in case everyone wants to know what the cards are that we're using, in case you want to procure them yourself, at least what they look like. All right. Sorry, I got itchy nose today. It's here comes the tree pollen. So the trees are kissing my nose. All right. So let us look here. So we've got Jojo in the house. Hey, Jojo. Good to see you. See your donation. So we'll get you on the donation list here. We do have Priscilla in the house. Hello, Priscilla. Good to see you. We got your free reading here. We'll get you on the list. And Lily Cherry Blossom. Hello, hello. Good to see you as well. We'll get you onto the free list. And we got Scooby Dooby. Scooby Dooby Doo. We got you on the donation list there. So thank you for that. And I'll give everyone an update on what the list of donations look like, so you guys know what the line looks like. And we've got Leslie. Hello, Leslie. You said sorry you're going to miss the live. So when we see you, I'll shout out to you once I do your reading. You'll be up actually first. So thank you for that. And we got a Teshi Singh. I've got you on the free list here. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Marissa Smith in the house. I got you on the donation list here as well. So thank you. We got Plate-O Spaghetti-O. That's my nickname for you. I got you on the free list here as well. Good to see you. And Sudeshna Ghosh. Hey, Sudeshna. We do have your donation here. So we have you on the list. And then the last of the free readings here, we got Aditi from earlier today, user PC, and Mini Heal. So we've got you three. You will be the first three once we get on to the free readings. Let me just make sure here. My emails are live and active here, and they be. All right. So where we're at for donations, Leslie will be up first, then Sudeshna Ghost, then Marissa, then Scooby Dooby, and then Jojo. You'll be up after that. And that is where we have for now. So let's do a little cheers as I like to start off. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the thumbs up, too. Helps spreads the Zen love, and you're part of the love tsunami. So thank you so much for doing that. And cheers to you. It's very hot. Try not to burn my lips off. All right. So let us dive in. So Leslie is up first. We got 1420 is your timestamp. All right. Already having trouble typing. That's not, we can't do that right off the bat. All right. And then you wanted a general read. All right. So Leslie, let's find out here what Spirit has for you this evening. Thank you so much for your donation. And let me give that a love and a like since it lets me. All right. What does Spirit wants you to know right this day? So you got one card and then three cards. I do want this one. I do want that one. I do want that one. And that to be it. All right. I need to scooch these. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Two of Swords coming in. Underneath that, also the Lover's card. Power of choice energy. The Two of Swords is this. It's sometimes can be decision making, but I feel like the big energy coming through is the power of the story. that every moment we get to choose what story we apply to everything, right? And this is emphasizing that I can give it a story of higher vibration or a story of lower vibration. Neither's right, neither's wrong. They're just different with different outcomes and different experiences. But the key of it, along with the lover's card, is the power of emotional choices that people can't decide what I think or how I feel. They can influence us by giving us, all these opinions growing up on when this happens, this is how you're supposed to feel and how you're supposed to think about it, the story you're supposed to put to it. So we're given a lot of storytelling when we're growing up and we just take it on. We don't know any better as children. We go, oh, out of fear of rejection or losing our praise, we just take on all these stories. And until we question them, we'll continue to believe that story and thinking that we have to choose what people told us we're supposed to choose. But the empowerment comes in, and this is very energy on the bottom of the deck and through the bottom of your reading here is you get to choose empowerment. So your first card of the actual reading is the Six of Cups. There is this energy of someone, or well, it does feel like someone in your past is coming back across your path. I know we're in the yeah, we're kind of in the middle of the Mercury retrograde-ish. It, goes direct March 20th and then it's out of its post shadow like April 10th, so, this is someone coming back across your path. Now, it doesn't mean that they're knocking on your door. Could be even just seeing them on Facebook or social media or coming across something, you know, that they gave you because 'cause you're cleaning out junk or whatever for spring cleaning or something, right? Or you just see them, but there's no it doesn't have to mean there's interaction, but I do feel like there's this memory being activated because it's realizing, "Oh, they made me feel this way. This is what their actions or non-actions, their words or their silence, if they ghosted you or whatever, what it means about me," and you're like, "Wait a minute, no, I'm changing the story. I'm changing the emotions that I'm putting around it going, what was my gift in the interaction I had with this person, and how can I be free from that? Because when they, like, stop talking to me let's say they ghosted you, that's the kind of energy I'm getting, they ghosted you. Out of nowhere, they just stopped talking to you, stopped responding to you. You didn't see him anywhere, and then now you spot him, you're like, "Oh, they're alive at least. I thought they might be dead or something for all I know." But we thought, "Oh, this means I did something wrong or that I'm not good enough," and they wanted someone better. When we realized, no, with their actions, we're talking about how they feel about themselves, and, their actions and tell us that they're not emotionally mature enough to be in a relationship with us, right? Because if you can't talk about your problems or your anything that's going on, then you're not mature enough to be in a relationship with me because I do require communication. I like that strength energy coming through. It's like, whoa, but I like this. I like this energy of rewriting the story of what someone, had said from the past or non-acted or disappeared in the past. Let's see, you got 3 cards, like, creating, like, a barrier. Let's see what these are here, yeah. This kind of death and rebirth energy coming in. So I do feel like this has to do with an ending, of an old story and the beginning of a new one. Yeah, I got the Queen of Swords, the balance between the head and the heart. This ending a story and rewriting it is really coming in strong here. Yeah, and the magician stepping into our power, realizing we're the ones that get to create. And in a way, there's a little bit of realizing that whoever I drew into my life, I drew in on purpose for a purpose, and that they did have a message for me. It wasn't an accident. We didn't, you know, um, the creator bumped the earth by accident. We bumped into each other. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. No, everything is always purpose behind everything and for our experience. And so there was purpose. We did draw them. We drew it to each other to learn. And even if it's for this moment to rewrite the story later and to have something to be able to rewrite is great, right? So I love that. And then, 3 more cards. You got the Tower. They were removed out of your life on purpose for a purpose. That's another edit to the story, right? That I trust that when people disappear or leave my life, that it is on purpose to be able to create the space for someone that's more in alignment with my energy, someone who can fricking communicate, right? Someone whose energy matches mine, that I don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells, or I'm afraid any moment I'm going to do something wrong and they're going to, ghost me again. It's like, no, I deserve to have space for someone. I deserve to have blocks to where I want to go removed. And sometimes that is people, it is situations that happen too. But I like this rewriting of this story. Yeah, the rewriting of the heartbreak story. My heart can't be broken. What I felt was fear, and it was fear of not being lovable because of their actions, but now I realize that that fear was based on a scary story I learned growing up, that when someone does that, that means you're not good enough. And it's like, that's not true. We rewrite the story, we realize their heartbreak wasn't there. It was a fear we were having, that they didn't break my heart. They just scared me emotionally. But now I'm changing that story to be in a comedy, instead. So I like this. And then the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. This is relationship energy, fullness of life energy. And like it's saying here, it's almost like this is and they lived happily ever after. There is this, you deserve this, living happily ever after with someone whose energy aligns with you. So I do love this empowerment and this specific to one individual that I feel either has recently come back across your path or will, and you're going to be able to change the impact to your life by rewriting that with your mental power of choice of the story. So I like that for you. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in through the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, nope, not those. I feel like there could be a couple of those examples in the past, right? There was like, they give a couple cards and go, no, not this time. This one is this one. Yeah, I got faith with this beautiful full moon. There we go. Not so glary there. 31. This is the worm moon. The worm. The worm is trying to wiggle themselves back into your life. Maybe not. But it says fertility and abundance now return. Things will get better. Growth has started. Hold on to your dreams in adversity. Your affirmation is, I know all will be well. It is in the darkest times that we find it hard to see the light. It is hard to see when things seem hopeless, how we can ever feel hope again. When things seem to fail, it is really difficult to draw up our resilience and stand up again. We learn by observing the seasons that the light does return. The barrenness of winter turns infinitely and surely into spring. The ice melts. The days grow longer and the nights grow shorter. Warmth and fertility slowly return to the land. It's hard to have faith in ourselves and the universe. It's actually, they say, I actually think faith is the real F word. Faith requires us to let go of our anxieties and have trust, perhaps in something we can't actually see yet. Having a more complete faith in yourself and a higher power to lead you to your greatest good is a solid intention. While having a rigid, blind faith does not serve us, it is important to hold on to our dreams and intentions and to focus on the outcome. To do this without taking note of what is happening around us can be folly. Our ancestors would observe nature carefully, looking for the signs of new life and fertility, altering their hunting or planting to best take advantage. Yet they knew that the ice would melt and the soil, damp and ready, teeming with worms, would receive their seeds. Companion stone for this is lapis lazuli. That's how I call it. It's probably lapis lazuli, but I like to call it something different. But that's for you there. I love that energy of um, we can change a story of death into a story of life instead. So that's what I feel they have for you, Leslie, right now. So many blessings, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And Jojo, thank you so much for your additional donations here. Let me get to the two more here on the list. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be circling back around for you in a sec. So cheers, everybody. Gonna take another quick sip. All right. So Sudeshna Ghosh, you are up at 26 even. There is your timestamp. Let's give your donation. Love and a like there. And you want the upcoming time in your career, please, and guidance. All right, let's take a look here. So, what does the upcoming time in your career look like? What would I like you to know here? I do want these, but I did want this one first, then this one, then these, then that one, then this one, then this one. And these two and that one. All right, let's see what we got here. Well, underlying energy for the whole thing, you do have this King of Pentacles. You know, you are going to be successful. You are going to feel this fullness of life here with the King of Pentacles. There, Pentacles is the coin. It is abundance. It's one of the big abundance cards that we can receive. So it looks good that your career ultimately will work out into something feeling fulfilling and full financially, emotionally, you know, in whatever way that abundance would mean abundance for you. Your first card here, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So birthing something new, but that brings abundance and fullness and harvest that comes in here. So when you trust and know that, you know, though things are not going to, you know, pan out where you're at now, that's because it's time for you to move somewhere. It's like if you know fields have bad soil and they won't grow a whole lot, and it's actually things aren't growing and it's the soil is radioactive and it's destroying, you're like, I'm leaving this field and I'm going to a more fertile field where things can grow. And that's what I feel is where you're headed here. Yeah, you do have the Hierophant, which is the major arcana, master of change with the card to five. Five is the number of change and transformation in a way, but you're seeing things from a higher perspective. And there is this student teacher energy. And I feel like you're going to, you know, be able to go into a position that matches your education, but I feel like that's just temporary. This is also stepping stone energy, and that you'll step into something else, which equals, you got two that have these equals. Yeah, this, you got the Three of Cups and the Full card. Three Cups is, you know, it's like your tribe, but it's also joyful celebration, following your heart and what brings you joy, and the Fool card, which is leaving old ways behind, a new adventure ahead. So that's telling me here you'll, you know, you'll find a job that has to do with your current education, just so that you have somewhere to kind of a stepping stone, just to so that you don't end up drowning in the water. You're just like, I'm taking this step, but after that, then I'm moving into something that is more in alignment with my heart and bringing joy to my heart. Yeah, you have the Seven of Swords, which is getting out of your head, you know, escaping from these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that thieved and stole opportunities from you because you felt, oh, I'm supposed to do this. I should do this. I won't even consider following my heart because my mind is so strict on what needs to happen and how it needs to unfold. But this is your heart going, I need to speak up because I don't want to just exist. I want to live, right? You have two cards that lead to one card, and I do feel like these are your um the change of, you know, once you get this other job, that's the interim job, this is how things change. You got the Six of Wands, which is like this passion, this um, almost like this standing out energy. But the 10 of Wands is changing from something that feels like a burden to something that feels like a harvest. There's this flow of energy. And I do feel like the 6 of Wands is a lot like maybe like the King of Cups, not King of the Knight of Cups, which is pursuing that which ignites my heart, that ignites my excitement. And instead of going check, check, and I'm doing what's expected, it's if I could do that, I would just, oh, my life would be like, woo, exciting, right? And I feel like that's kind of where you're headed here with that. You got the Page of Pentacles. Oh, and the Knight of Cups. As I was saying, it's like the Knight of Cups. There is this opportunity for you to go and follow your heart that leads you to a heightened opportunity with even um, what feels like a more abundance too. So it feels like a win-win. Yeah, and you have the Page of Cups along with that. So following your heart is where you're being led here. So I do feel like you will here very soon find like a job that matches your education, but that's just to make money in the meantime while you're trying to discover what it is that would make your heart feel full and where you'd want to head. So I feel like that's the big thing around career, and we'll grab a fortune cookie here for you as well. Let me just get these cards back in here. All right. And let's take a look here. All right. This is the one. And you've got fear. Yeah. Breaking free from that cage of the mind, like that Seven of Swords. So let's see here. That is card number 11. And this is the Waxing Gibeus. So it says, the time for courage is here. Fear is only useful if it teaches you something. You must examine whether your fears are old or new, useful or unhelpful. Fear blocks flow. Your affirmation is, I am courageous. If there's one thing that stops people from fulfilling their dreams or even getting things done that they want done, it is fear. Experiencing fear is built in a chemical part of the way our brain works to protect us. Emotions such as fear cause the production of a whole raft of body chemicals that give us the best chance of coping with situations that need our attention to survive. There is a healthy kind of fear, the kind that warns us to keep out of dangerous situations or stay clear of someone who instinctively makes us wary. However, it would be a rare person who does not have at least one fear that does not serve them, a fear that is unrealistic or untrue, or perhaps based on a outmoded experience, or something that is buried so deeply we only see the symptoms rather than the fear itself. Most fears have been formed with the positive intent of protection. We need to separate that intention out and deal with it in a more resourceful and less destructive way if we are to create ease and flow in our lives. Fear has many names. Covert ones are envy, jealousy, codependence, procrastination, bullying, people pleasing, disconnection. More overt ones are avoidance, fear of failure, or fear of success. There is, however, a kind of antidote to fear, and it is courage. Fear will put up an initial resistance to courage, but it has no real long term power against it. While we can be fearful and courageous at the same time, and I think courage contains a mighty big dose of fear, we can choose to face that fear and flow through it until we fear less and then eventually become fearless. The process isn't always graceful. It isn't always impressive because it may be slow and deliberate steps we take. Taking these steps isn't always easy, an understatement. It isn't always apparent to others, so it should be about us measuring how far we have come and not worrying about what anyone else thinks. Comparison is useless. Courage is powerful, no matter what form it takes. Your companion stone is aquamarine, but I love that. It's about setting your heart free from the cage of the mind. There's even someone down here that's stuck, that isn't able to escape. And that's the thing. Our mind, all those thoughts and beliefs, is what keeps us stuck in a place. So that is what they have for you, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. All right. Let's take a look here. I do believe we had some more people come in. Let me get the list updated real quick. All right. Velvet Flare Witch. Hello, hello. Good to see you. And I see your question. We'll get you onto the free list here. And we got Touch O Love. Hello, hello. You want to know about the Pisces? We'll get you on the free list here. And I think that is it. All right. So those are the newbies. Hello. Thank you guys again so much for all the thumbs up. I appreciate that so much. Does help spread the Zen love, and you're part of the Cowabunga tsunami of love. And thank you. Cheers, cheers. All right. So up next we got Marissa, and then Scooby Dooby, and then 3 for JoJo. All right. So Marissa, you're up 36:44. It's your timestamp. Here it is. And you wanted a general read. So let's take a look here and see what we got going on. All right. Look for Marissa, please. Okay. Do it to this one and then this one. Oh, those there. And then these here. Do want any of those? I do want this one and this one underneath. All right. We got you here. So let's see here. Let me scooch these. There we go. So bottom of the deck, you do have the 4 of Swords. What is this? This is interesting. Yeah, Cowabunga. The 4 of Swords. Usually this is peace of mind and letting go of expectations, but they're like, no, not the usual. They're like, this is about rest. And I feel like you've had a lot on your mind and on your mind and on your mind. And this is about finding ways to rest your mind. What they're bringing to me is something, because I used to, especially when I was in management and had, 500 projects going and in charge of them all and not delegating, all that fun stuff you learn. I would wake up or to have trouble going to sleep at night because my brain was looping things over and over and over again. And the spirit brought something across my path of write it down. Just have it on a list, your list of things to do. If it's on the list, your brain goes, it's written down. I don't need to remind you. You have something else to remind you. And then it allowed me to have a rest. I was able to go to sleep and not have it on my head. And that's whenever I feel like I'm like, oh, let me make sure I keep a paper calendar because I'm old fashioned. You can do a live one, but I always have everything written down either on a list of to-dos that's not time bound or it's on my calendar and I know it's there. So my mind at ease. And I feel like there's that kind of energy coming in here. That's the underlying energy. Let's see what else they have to say. Yeah, you got the 8 of Wands. Seems like your life is very, very busy right now. A lot of energy flowing through it. A lot of activity that's coming in. Next to it, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, and it's a good busy because there's a lot of new opportunities that are coming up, I feel, and you have been getting ideas, um, having opportunities, and I just feel like you're kind of burning the candle at 8 ends with this 8 of Wands. It's like, whoa. So I feel like it's important, get it out of your mind so that when you do take time to rest, you can rest completely and not keep things looping. You also have the 8 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's this energy here. I feel like part of where your mind, one of the places anyway that your mind's really busy is this has to do with like relationship with people. But this feels like with this 8 of Cups that Usually it's two things, either emotions that can be looked at that are below the surface that have been stuffed from a long time ago, but I feel like this is emphasizing the people that you have in your life right now, and that you have a lot of people that you're investing a lot of energy in, but a lot of them, you're the one that's doing 60, 70, 80, 90% more. The ones to look at are like where you're consistently giving 70, 89, 90% of the emotional energy into these relationships. And if it's not a child, of course, children, they're learning. But if it's an adult, even if it's a child in an adult's body, which is a lot of us, right? Is um, realizing, well, I know the ones that need to go. I need to take all these off life support because you're the life support system, the emotional life support system, all these different relationships, friends, family, exes, whoever. And you're like, I'm going to disconnect these. I know the ones that if they don't breathe on their own, then they need to end. Others, you're going to back off and, only give in around 50%. And then if they make up the others, then you can maintain that, but if they don't, then the relationship drifts apart and you just let it. All this emotional energy and all this is coming back to you, and less to think about, less to worry about, less things cleared off of your list when it comes in with this as well. So I like that. Below the deck of that one, you do have the Queen of Wands, which is it's this nudge for you to take action to clear this out because they won't do it. And so it's important for you to do it. The Four of Pentacles, where that card comes in with all that is sometimes we define our worth by the relationships we have. It's one of the three um, buckets that we are taught to define ourselves by. And so it's like, well, no, you're supposed to overgive to all your family and your friends. And it's what we were taught since we were young, but it's not true. It can be a 50-50 relationship or a going back and forth relationship. Sometimes we can only give 30 and then they give 70. Sometimes they only can give 30 and we give 70. But if I'm always giving 70 and all they ever give is 30, that's suspicious. Cut, cut. No. I have to use my no button every once in a while. It gets lonely over there. All right. And then what else do they want you to know about all this energy? Because I feel like that's one big pocket that will help you clear away and give back more of your time and more of your finances and more of your energy when you just release yourself from kind of trying to please people that you can free yourself from pleasing because they're going to be displeased unless you're over giving to them, right? These four cards came out together. Yeah, we do have the fear of disappointing or not meeting expectations. Yeah, we got the 9 of cups, which is like my dream come true. I must have this dream come true. But I do feel here you've got the ace of cups and the 6 of cups here, which, is this energy of self-love. And I like this awareness because it can be like feeling like my dream come true, or I can only be happy when this outcome happens, right? And I like this because it's when it's of our mind, yeah, it has this high bar that says you're only meeting expectations and happy and successful when you get up to 0. And you're like, "What?" Yeah, because we start in the negative, make our way up to 0, and then we can have abundance in our life. That's how the mind works with this great amount of expectations around what something has to be in order to be successful. When we're truly living our dream, every moment we're living our dream. And we're not living our dream when we're living our dream right here, right now, in this moment, baby. And there's this wonderful enjoyment of this moment, celebrating, going, I'm living the dream. And they're like, "Well, aren't you supposed to have $1 million to be have your dream?" No, I've got everything I need right here inside of me, right here, right now. I'm here with Creator, full of love, and I have eternal, unconditional love. Everything else is above and beyond extra. I'm living the dream. It's this wonderful coming back to the chalice, realizing, you get to fill up and then overflow, kind of going back to this other, with the 8 of cups, we feel like we got to fill everyone else's cup. It's like, no, I fill up and everyone else gets the overflow. Otherwise, I'm feeling exhausted and bitter and, resentful because I feel like I have to give and give and give. But this is about I don't I don't need to fear disappointment because I'm living the dream in this moment. So there is this kind of recalibration of where am I investing all of my energy, as we're looking at all this. Your card underneath those is the 9 of pentacles. Yeah. So this is about the financial or physical dream come true, along with the emotional dream come true, and when we're looking at the energy underneath all of it here, this is about gaining clarity around what does that mean to me, not what I've been told it's supposed to mean. And then you realize every step along the way, let's say it's like the example they're giving me is like, I'm going to be a surgeon, I'm going to be a doctor, right? And it's like, well, until I get all of my degrees and my PhD and I'm, through all of my internships and once I have my own practice, then I'll be happy. It's like, no, every class you're taking, every frog you're dissecting or whatever we do these days, I don't know. But is part of the adventure. Instead of having it attached to an outcome in the future, live in the dream in the moment. So I love that. So that's what they have there. Let's see what your fortune cookie comes in with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. All right. Card came flying out. And you've got attraction, the super moon 44. I noticed your timestamp was 3644, very big power number of stability. And now you've got master number or power number 44 for your card with a super moon as well. So let's take a look here and see. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. So you can be magnetic to others and attract the good things in life. You can repel what you no longer wish to attract. Be ready for opportunity. Avoid extremes that might cause negative imbalance in your body or mind. The Four of Swords that you got is about peace of mind and balanced mind. Think of connections greater than yourself. Your affirmation is I can attract what I wish and repel what I do not. A supermoon is a full moon that is the closest distance from the Earth in its revolutions. It is also referred to as a perigee moon. The supermoon looks huge in the sky, and being so close to the Earth, it influences the oceans more than usual, causing more extreme tides than are normal. These changes in gravity and force are certainly noticeable, and for most people who follow the cycles of the moon and do magical workings aligned with them, it is the energy of supermoons that's most important. It is a normal, if a normal, I really know how to read. Sometimes I wonder, I know. But if a normal full moon gives us an opportunity to have rocket power under our intentions, a supermoon greatly magnifies this energy into a supernova. If we are growing, we all want to attract experiences into our lives. This can be positive relationships, a lifestyle that suits us better, clarity, love, prosperity, creativity, the list goes on. Equally, we also perhaps wish to be able to repel the experiences we don't want. It is important then to not just know what we want, but be able to recognize what we don't. Attraction isn't just about what we accept, but also how we discern. Blindly attracting everything we think of into our lives rarely makes us happy, but being focused about it does. This card also suggests that we think globally and for the whole, like the WHOLE. If you are making intentions on the supermoon, include one for the planet. Your companion stone is magnetite. So I like that. Drawing in what we're wanting, truly wanting, not what we think we're supposed to want in our life. So I love that for you, Marissa. That's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. Many blessings. All right. So let me catch up here. I had a couple more people pop in. So let's do some shout outs. We'll get back to the readings. We got Sean G in the house. Hey, Sean. Thank you for your donation. We'll get you added on to the list here. I'll give an update on where we're at here in a sec. And we got me. Hey, me, you're still kicking. Well, well, well. I'm so glad you're still amongst the I'm gonna say the sassy people. So good to see you. And we got CJ in the house too. So CJ, good to see you. I'll get you on to the free list here. And then I think that was it. So for donations, we got Scooby Dooby up next, 3 for JoJo, and then Sean G, you will be up after that. All right, let's take another quick sip here. Cheers, cheers. All right. Yum, yum. All right. And Marissa, did I give yours? I did not give your donation a love and a like, so we will. There we go. All right, Scooby Doo, you got 5139. Scooby Dooby. Dooby Doo. Here is your timestamp. Let's give your donation a love and a like there. All right. So thank you for that. Anyone know what are Alice or Allie's feelings towards you? Emma, she's your ex. Okay. Let's find out what's going on here. What are Allie's feelings towards you? Okay, thank you. What else? Got that. And like got these here. I feel like this is what they would say. This is what is on. Got like 3 cards that are what they feel but wouldn't say. And then there's something even below the surface that they're feeling that they don't even know about. So kind of a subconscious thing. So we'll see what that is here. That'll be interesting. So let's take a look here and see what we have. We have the Queen of Cups on the bottom. So very emotional energy. She rolls over the cup suit. All queens get a second portion of cups. So a very a big feeling person, I feel like, is the underlying energy. Underneath that, we do have here these movements energy of the 8 of Cups and 8 of Swords, which is about leaving behind thoughts and emotions that don't serve us anymore or relationships that don't serve us anymore. And I feel like that is the reactionary energy of I need to move on, I need to leave this behind. Because they feel things very big, and I don't feel like they reflect upon a lot of it. Feel like they save a lot of their pain to be able to swim around in it. I'm not sure if they've got a lot of water in their chart or a water moon, but they really it's like I'm a whale. I need a lot of emotional water to swim in, and I'll even save this dark, lower vibrational water of my suffering and pain to be able to swim around in. So I feel like they like feeling all the emotion all the time as well. So I feel like they're a lot of emotional reactive and I do feel like it's like the moon energy where they have a ton of like an ocean of emotion below the surface. Excuse me. So that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see how do they feel about you here. We do have the Star card and the Page of Swords. So, they did have this thought here of the Star card that you're like a dream come true. And, the Page of Swords um is where they're at now, where they're like trying to understand where they misunderstood this dream come true because they feel like they felt like you were gonna be it, that you were gonna, you were like this dream and that it's gonna be forever. And I feel like they're in a lot in their mind trying to figure out what did I how did I miss this? Because they have this idea that, they totally missed a red flag is what they're thinking. But let's see what we have here. Yeah, we got the Knight of Cups. So, they still they're on this quest of finding their own self-love, of course, with all this emotional energy that they've got. But they still have feelings for you. I mean, they've got a lot of different feelings for you, which we'll get into here with these next set of cards. So they have a ton, and I do feel like, um, it's I'm laughing because the way they're saying it to me, that they haven't learned their lesson. They would continue to come back over and over again, and I do feel like their heart is, like, thinking about, "What if we got back together?" energy. Um, but their mind seems to be holding the heart back, going, "We need to take a look at what happened." We're doing the analysis, the post-game analysis to find out what's going on here, right? That's funny. Let's see here. What would they say if you asked them, "How do you feel about me?" Well, they have the Sun card. So they would be like, "You've got a lot of passion and a lot of brightness, and you brought me a lot of joy." Um, so I feel like they would try to stay positive in what experienced here. At least this is how they feel they would do it, which is interesting, right? Because this is what they would say. "Oh, well, I feel da 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 da," and you're like, but you do one thing and the other emotions come out, right? Because there's a lot. It's like a geyser at Yellowstone. Suddenly the steam comes out, and you're like, "Whoa, there's that hot water." It was a nice bubbling brook of, "Oh, you really think about that?" And then steam burns and singes off your eyebrows. But let's see here, below the surface, how they really feel. Yeah, I do feel again, they felt like here's the joy of feeling like we would be married kind of energy. They thought that they would, you know, I'm it kind of feels a little bit of disappointment about that, because it's the marriage card. It's a joy card, but it's a marriage card, and I feel like they're feeling like we would have, you know, um, this, long-term marriage. Again, that dream come true energy, right? They have the 4 of Pentacles. This has to do with feelings of home, but also this clarity around how they define themselves. And so I feel like a lot of what they're experiencing here is realizing, especially with the codependency awareness card, about this pattern that they've had for a long time of defining themselves by the outside world. And I just feel like they fall back into that people pleasing and that, um, you know, maybe I needed to give more. Maybe that would have made a difference. Or maybe if you would have given more, it would have made it a difference. And, but all of this is a mirror pointing them back to themselves, making them realize that you could never make them happy and they can never make you happy. Happiness is an inside job. And when we look for it in others, we're all going to disappoint one another until we find our self love. And then when we find our self love, then what someone gives is above and beyond extra because we're full and overflowing. So I feel like, when we're asking about the emotions, I feel like they're in this, maybe they're in therapy because it feels very like inner reflective and recognizing patterns and thinking through things. But I do feel like they're trying to really sincerely understand where, why am I, because I feel like they've repeated cycles a lot, and they're like and this is why, like, this Knight of Cups, like, they would return back again, and they're like, I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. I need to find out what is going on in here. And I feel like that's kind of where they're at. They're trying to figure it out. Way, way, way below the surface, we do have the Queen of Wands, which they don't realize. And this Queen of Wands tells us we draw people into our life. All of us do, that are the perfect mirrors to show us what we want to see about ourselves. And I feel like that's the thing below the surface that they're kind of alluding and getting to, but they haven't hasn't clicked yet. That what is the gift that you brought me in my life? What is it that I wanted you to show me about myself, of how I was treating myself that I didn't see, and vice versa? How were you treating yourself? How do you feel about yourself? And they're kind of spinning the question in a way back to you, which is, um, like, now, how do you feel about yourself after this relationship? Because you can't give more love to others than you have for yourself, nor receive love from others more than you have for yourself, and vice versa. They can't give something they don't have, and they're in this journey of finding their self-love. And so I feel like when we're asking, well, how do they feel about me right now? They're feeling about themselves. I feel like they're very inner focused and not really their mind, again, reflecting on a lot of things during that post game analysis, isn't looking for another game yet. They're like, I got to figure out why I keep losing games before I schedule another game. That's what the kind of mindset I'm receiving. Let's see what else we can get here through your fortune cookie, through the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Huge emotional energy, very much that same energy. But let's see what we got here. Yeah, well, yeah. So self reflection, exactly what I was talking about, right? No doubt. This is where they're at. This is card 17, waning gibbous moon. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, so this is their energy, and I feel like this is your self-reflection, your mirror as well. It says, be curious about your own nature. Choose to turn inwards to quietly contemplate who and what you are and want. The more you know about yourself, the more you're able to steer yourself well. Know what you believe and why, yet be open to the development of new beliefs and ways of being. The affirmation is, I'm not afraid to look deeply at myself in all aspects. Both scientists and spiritual practitioners believe there is much benefit to be had in self reflection. The process involves us thinking about what is happening, how we react, and make sense of it. It exposes our strengths and weaknesses and gives us information to make changes if we choose to. It gives us a small respite in the busyness of life and allows our brain to make some sense of the chaos we experience each day. As self reflection is something we all would benefit from doing, why don't we do it? First, self reflection sucks. No, I'm just kidding. It says self reflection requires us to slow down somewhat and turn our awareness inward, something that does not come naturally to some, and especially not the highly extroverted. Starting small and maybe getting assistance with someone else as a guide can solve this. That's why I feel like they're in like therapy or something. Second, some people are not sure exactly how to self reflect and so don't try. To change this, examine the various ways to self reflect during a regular 5-minute recap of the day as you commute home or before dinner. Sit quietly and think about all that has happened and your reactions to it on this moon every moon cycle. Record how you feel each day. There are many ways to self reflect, and one will suit you. And then, third, some people self reflect, but when they do, they don't like the feelings of vulnerability, anger, guilt, or even defensiveness this incurs. Why go there when it isn't pleasant? Here is where we grow our self responsibility. Short term pain will certainly be worth long term gain if we do not ignore the elephant in the room. A regular practice of self reflection allows us to intercede before problems get too big. We can, for example, catch ourselves before something gets way out of hand. We can apologize and make amends to someone for our mistake. We can catch negative patterns and stop them in their tracks. That's what we're talking about, right? The theme of waning gibbous moons, of which this is the first, is the process of self reflection and building resilience. The companion stone for that is Tiger's Eye. So if you're into stones and crystals, Tiger's Eye can help it. What a perfect picture of everything we were talking about. They're in this state of self reflection, inward, not really allowing emotions and things to flow outward at this point. So, some good advice for us all with that. Self reflection. I tell you what. All right. So, thank you again for your donation. Hopefully that helps. Cheers, cheers. Thank you so much. All right. And me, you said you just buried your 91-year-old abusive mother March 3rd. I hope she was passed and that you just didn't bury her. Yeah, so 91 years old, you might have a few more years left in you too. You stubborn group of people, right? So glad you're here, and um, let me know if you have any questions that you would like me to pull cards for me. All right. So we do have 3 for JoJo, and then Sean G will be up after that. And that's where we're at for donations at this moment. So JoJo up first, 10714 is your first one here. Boom, boom. And thank you for the yum sticker. I had to get close for that one. All right. So for number 1, you've been drawn to MM lately. Has she been around you? All right, let's take a look here. See if she's been hanging out. So tell us here. Boom, 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 and this one. All right, let's take a look here. See what we got here. See, they definitely want to be together there. Okay, bottom of the deck. You do have the full card coming in here. This new adventure awaits. It's like this is Alice in Wonderland. Down the rabbit hole we go. And I like this energy because I feel like that would be a yes for me. Oh, about your doggy? The doggy and the fox? Yeah, so, I do feel like they've been around you here, and I feel like something's building in your life, right? I feel like this new adventure is about to begin for you in your life, and a lot of your spiritual posse of these actors and musicians and all these, I feel like the spotlight, like, they're putting a spotlight on your life, um, and it's bringing a lot of different influences around you. Um, and let's see what they bring in here for you because you've got some cards, but I do feel like they bring a lot of uh, courage, but I just feel like Austin ostentatiousness about um, I don't let anything stop me kind of energy. I'm trying to stay safe and sane and grounded. Good luck. Yeah, I know, right? So this is good. I like it because, there is this beautiful adventure that's about to unfold. It's like Um, Everyone's gathering backstage to see your performance in a way, and I like that. So let's see what she wants. So she gave 2 here. We've got the 9 of wands and the strength card. What did I say? Courage with the strength card, that Leo energy, your Leo energy, and the 9 of wands, perseverance, not letting anything block and stand in our way, right? And so I do feel like those are the energies that they're lending to you from them, they're, like, letting that from what they did. Yeah, like a big sister, right? A very protective sister, and, because of their experiences, they're letting that flood towards you and to you, here. And why is that? Well, the magician, yeah, there's some magic about to happen. You're going for the full card 0 to the first card. Progression, movement, you've got everything within you, you've got this kind of energy, um, and, the ace of swords that's coming in here, which is about clarity and seeing things differently, but there's this new 1-1 energy, right? A new word, is it ostentatiousness? I don't even quite understand what that word is, but there I feel like it's, um, sassy, kind of thing, kind of energy that's there. So it's an interesting energy coming in. So you got this, ones and ones here. So this new beginning trying to bring you magic with the magician and the ace of swords, clarity to help you on your path too, I feel is a big piece of why she's hanging around you. Yeah, the 6 of wands, being seen, um, and I mean, what a person, right, that was in a lot of people's limelight and was very much, um it's like all the tomcats were after her, right? But she kept herself separate as much as she could. But this is being seen, again, spotlight, being raised above, it's like she's helping you, um, energetically with all of that kind of energy. Yeah, we got the Wheel of Fortune, so they're helping with your fate's wheel in a way to for your dream here as well with the 5 of cups. We get this energy, right? Because this is remembering your why is what she's kind of coming in and helping you to. It's remember why you wanna do all this. It's not for the spotlight. It's not, some of hers was needing to be seen and needing, because I feel like I don't think she was a Leo, but that were fire sign, a lot of Leo low vibration or lower expression of Leo energy is look at me, I need to be seen because it has to do with not being seen when we're younger. But the higher vibration with the 5 of cups is let me through my life help other people transmute their emotions from lower vibration to higher vibration, right? Yeah, I think so. I do think so, who that is. At least that's she's telling me, "This is me." But, but I like this because what really stood out to me and kinda tell me, did you ever see the TV series? What was it? It wasn't Bombshell. It was a story of her, it was a musical with Karen I forget what her name, and it had the big blonde chick, but, um, this other one ousted her, um Karen McPhee, I think it was? Smash, I think was the name of the show, but that's what they showed in my head when I saw everyone standing in backstage watching her perform, so, I like that. So, they are around you, yes, and this is what they're doing and helping you with. And we'll give you the Queen of the Moon oracle here for this one. Yeah, which is all right. We do fluctuate between lower and higher expression. We all do. Depends on our mood and what we're going through and what we ate the night before. Yeah, so I like it. We got surrender, number 26, which this is the waning crescent. So surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Let go of what you no longer need. Stop being so stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are now. Stop struggling. Your affirmation is I let go, I surrender my struggle, I allow the universe to work through me. Says it took me a long time to realize that surrendering was a positive thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mean the giving up kind of surrender. I mean the okay, it's time for me to hand this over type of surrender. For those of us who are highly independent and used to doing things quite ably on our own, admitting we need assistance or that we might indeed have to let something go for our betterment can be challenging. Letting go and surrendering admits or exposes a vulnerability or two. To surrender, we may need to show our underbelly. We may need to admit we got it wrong, made a mistake, grew a bad habit, surrounded ourselves with people that are not good for us. It can make us feel raw in our realization. Remember, this moon phase is dark and beautiful. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be as wide open as we need to be to do our work. We reveal safely to only the divine in ourselves, and then the light returns, the spotlight. Companion stone is orange calcite. So interesting. So I like that. She definitely is around you, helping you on your adventures. So that's what they have for El Numero Uno. We'll look at your next two here in a second. Let me just grab some extra questions here, some shout outs. Okay, me. So, will the truth finally come out surrounding your father and brother's deaths? Do they know how much they were loved? All right, we'll take a look here. For the free readings, we'll get you on the list. We got Livier Vagara in the house. Hey, Livier, I'm doing well. How are you doing? And here is your free question. We'll get you on the list there. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I love that. Looking in the mirror to cheer yourself up. Fun, fun. I can see it. So cheers to you. We'll jump into your second and third one here in a second. Then Sean G will be up after that. I think that is all we have in the emails here. All right. So number 2, we're at 1:18:30 here. Boom, boom. And for the second one, we've got the boom, boom. So thank you for your second donation. So today you randomly thought about your brother's friend and later found out you're going to possibly see him. How did you know? And anything else about that? All right, let's take a look here. So, how did you know? Because you're psychic. You are. And then what else about that here? Yeah. I like it. The bottom of the deck, you do have the Hermit card. So, you've really learned in silence to really connect with spirit with this Hermit card. And so I do feel like you're in this. It almost feels like you're in a walking meditation. You spend a lot of time in conversation with spirit and spirits and even like your thoughts to yourself are almost like a conversation with your higher self. So I feel like that's, kind of the underlying energy with the hermit. And you got the 4 of Wands. Yeah, it feels like your vibration in that moment, that's joy energy. And so you've got this, um, whenever we're in higher vibration, we get clear, clear, clear messages. When we're in lower vibration, it's all and noisy and it's hard to hear spirit because they whisper. But when we're in that joy, it's like silence and we can hear them so clearly. And I feel like you were in this higher vibration. Yeah, like you saw them, right? Isn't that great? So beautiful, awareness that you're in this space, and could see that. And then what else about this here? Yeah, you got the 3 of Cups. Here's that joy energy again. The Queen of Pentacles, you've been nurturing yourself. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. You've been getting out into nature, which has allowed you to, like, you've been trying to stay grounded and doing things. And this shows that you are grounded there. Yeah, and the Justice card, balanced energy too, with Libra energy that's coming in. Joy, grounding, balance is, again, they're reiterating that this is why you were able to see this visual, why you were able to see things so clearly, because when we're in that space of peace and grounding, and again, it's like quiet, you can hear whispers from spirit, and it's like, wow, wow, and I love that. These 3 other cards, what else around this? Yeah, the 7 of Swords. Let's see what else is here regarding this here, because you got the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, and then the 9 of Cups. This, hermit energy of the that you have at the bottom of the deck, and then this one. It feels like here these 2 sevens represent conflicting energies, one of the mind, one of the heart. And so I feel like there was like this um alert system that went out to you too about, you're going to meet your brother's friend. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's warning, warning, Will Robinson, warning. Because there is this energy there of, realizing this is not your dream, and this can be a distraction in a way. Um, I just feel it brings in a lot of mental and emotional confusion when you are around them because of a wide variety of things, and all the reasons why, that it comes in. I don't need to go in those for you. It's not a secret to you. You know it. You already know all this, they say. So I don't even need to tell you publicly these things. um, but it is the experiences that you encountered with them throughout, with them being your brother's friend, and but they're turning you back to, remember your mission, your dream is not to be with them or anyone else. In this location, there's your dream lies elsewhere. And I just feel like, in a way, the reason why it came in so clearly is, alarm system. You're picking up on, the tripwires are activating your home heart alarm system is on and going, nope, 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 nope. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like it feels like more your mental inner child went and pulled the fire alarm to clear out the building, right? Yeah. So I feel like that's like, no, this is to prepare you so you're not blindsided and knocked off the fence, and now you're prepared. You're like, "Oh, okay. I like this. I like this forewarning." It's not just, "Here comes the tornado." You got a tornado warning, or first a tornado watch. The weather's ripe enough where a tornado could happen. You're like, "Oh, good to know. I'll keep my eye out." And then tornado warning, there it is. I'm gonna get in my shelter and stay safe. I'm gonna hermit. So let's see what the Dreamer's deck card brings in here for you too. Yeah, I am true to myself. I know that pure joy is the result of being in alignment with my soul. All that joy energy. I'm not going to let someone take away my joy. I'm going to keep my joy. I like that. All right. So that's for number two. Number three is 12519. I like it. All right. So here's number three. Move this off over here. Boop, boop. So there we go. And so this one is popcorn. All right. Exciting. So in the last week or so, you've had a couple run ins to people that looked like your brother. So you're wondering why. It's all coming out. He's actually been cloned. Your father is really a mad scientist, and he's been making duplications of your brother. Or your dad had gotten around town. No, I'm just kidding. Let's take a look here. And they really are your half brothers. Let's see. So you got these two here, these two here, these here. All right, this one here. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay, I think this is the way they want him. Let's see what we got here. So you've got the judgment card underneath the bottom of the deck, which is about seeing things from a different perspective. But there's this resurrection kind of energy. And underneath that, we do have the Lover's card that's coming in here too, which is about important. Oh, it's the Tower. I totally thought that was the Lover's card. Important relationship being removed out of your life here. I feel here in this XX judgmental energy, it feels here there's something bubbling in, and we'll see this here because I feel like you're trying to reconcile emotions within you before you're leaving, and I feel like that's some of the delay of you going. It's because you wanna put some things to rest. You wanna feel good about you, right? Um, and I feel like that's why you're seeing the face in people is because they're really on your mind and in your heart, right now. Something about reconciliation, maybe not with someone, but more of um, being okay with going the direction you want and like leaving family behind in a way. That's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else they have here too. Yeah, again, that judgment card about seeing things from a higher perspective. You even got the Hanged Man, which is seeing things from a higher perspective, and the Ace of Swords, seeing things from a higher perspective. So definitely a lot mind-wise, it feels like that you're trying to work some stuff out, and that's why you're starting to see their face in a lot of people and go, "Wow, they look like I thought they were my brother. They reminded me of my brother." It's because, the purpose of it is so that you can, um, I think, come to a conclusion with it. So it's been kind of ramped up for you to kind of work through that, right? We've got here the Empress, yeah, and the Five of Pentacles. So this is about choosing you versus having anyone feel abandoned, left behind, left out in the cold, and fearing that that would also happen too, right? Um, because it's like, well, if I leave, will they abandon me? Or will they feel abandoned if I leave them? It's kind of like a two-edged sword, double-edged sword, right? Underneath that, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, which so all of this is about choosing you, choosing what you want to do, and the guilt, the expectations that kind of echo that are so strong from when we're growing up. And that is the hard thing. I know that's why um I got pulled to go live near my family, which I hadn't lived around in 20 years or longer, um, and I went to go live by them. But it was for me to realize everyone chose to live where they wanted to live and do what they wanted to do, and that it's okay for me to choose to do what I wanna do with my life too. Because I had this expectation of, this is what family is supposed to do, should do, need to do, have to do, must do. But when I was there, realizing, "So I'm here, check, check," but it was empty. It wasn't like, "This isn't where I wanna be." I want to, I'm being drawn to be somewhere else, to do something else in my life, but I was feeling guilty about pretty much everyone except for my dad and his wife live all in this area, and, um, and I'm like, even my dad, though, he chose to live in Hawaii, and, and it's 5 hours away once you hit LA to get to, or San Francisco to get to Hawaii. It's not easy to get there, and it's like, it's okay. Everyone chooses to do what they wanna do with their life, and I'm allowed to do that too. So, yeah. So there is that, dealing with that abandonment, and maybe, like you said, you might already feel it, that you feel like it's your responsibility in some way, maybe subconsciously or consciously, that I'm supposed to make it okay, and it's like, "No, that's their journey. All I can be responsible for is my own stories and emotions and energy and actions." Everyone gets to choose. Someone could be happy for you going and living your dream, or upset about it, and it's their choice, right? They're choosing that, well, they wanna experience that. If they don't wanna experience it anymore, they can switch it, right? Anyone can. Um, so I feel like that's kinda why they're showing up. Let's see what these other cards are here. Yeah, I feel like you are working through with this, um, especially with your worth, looking at your worth differently and letting go of old mindsets that would make you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small, and just realizing, I feel like you're letting go of a lot of these mindsets, and that's why this stuff is coming up, because you're letting a lot of this stuff go, um, of being active energy. Yeah, you'll still keep it in your library to pull for your acting and singing, 'cause, you're like, "I got this whole plethora of emotions that I'm not gonna give that up. I'm just not gonna make it active. I'll be able to call upon it when I want it, but it's not actively taking my energy." Underneath that, you do have the Emperor. Yeah. I'm taking charge. I'm deciding what I want. I'm making plans. I'm moving forward. And this is all part of that energy, which is leading you to the Queen of Swords. Yep. A balanced head and heart, moving forward into what you're doing here. Oh, I love that. So you're like, "Hey," and that's the whole thing, you realize, yeah, people all made their decisions, no one moved back here. This is where everyone lived, where I live now. Everyone moved away, and I feel bad. I'm like, "No, that's okay," I don't expect everyone to live where I live, so I get to free myself from feeling like I'm supposed to live where everyone else is too. I get to live where I wanna be. I get to be where I wanna be. It's my adventure. We're only here for a short time. Let's go. Alright, let's see what your dreamer's deck comes in. Anything else around this? That's what I feel why you're seeing them there, for you to reconcile things within you. I know that I do not need to avoid making others uncomfortable by playing small. I am taking up space. What a perfect card. I know that I do not need to avoid making others uncomfortable by playing small. So I get to go play big, and they get to be uncomfortable if they want. Not your choice, not your monkeys, not your zoo, not your flying monkeys, not your land of Oz. So I like that for you, Jojo. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your multiple donations. So grateful. All righty. So, Sean G, you are up. Hey, here's your timestamp. Whoops, put it over here. So, thank you for that via Zcash app. And your question is up here. How will H feel after you text him? What does he really think of you? All right, let's take a look here. So let's shuffle one more time. Get into H's energy. So after you text him in the future based on current energies, how will they feel? Okay. And what was the second part? Oh, what does he really think of you? And that and these. All right, let's see what we have here. Yeah, the bottom energy under the and the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is like the Empress energy, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, sensual, birthing. But I feel like this isn't so much about how they feel about you, but you remember how we feel about other people is so much through our own eyes of how we feel about ourselves. So it's always that, reflection energy, that filtered energy that other people's feelings and thoughts about us have little to do about with who we are, and more about what's going on over there, right? But this Queen of Pentacles, I feel like they're really turned inward, really focused in on themselves, nurturing themselves right now. Their wounds, not feeling good. Um, just I feel like their life is kind of shaken a bit. Um, After you text them, how will they feel? We got the Queen of Swords, which is a bit balanced between head and heart. And you also got the Judgment card, which is kind of a resurrection kind of energy that's coming in here. And it does feel like they're kind of awakened, like something is awakened within them, and they feel very balanced after you text them here. So, which is your energy? You tend to bring in that um, distraction from chaos. You get it's like your energy gets people's attention, and I feel like it takes them off of stuff, and they really focus in on you and the interaction instead of on their chaos that's going on. It's like fire, how people build a fire to fight a fire? Your fire energy comes in and 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 puts out the other fire, and they're like, "Wow, that's cool." It's always amazing how that works. But how do they really feel about you, right? Feel or think? It was really think of you. All right, we'll see if there's feelings here too. Yeah, we got the Ace of Wands. So obviously, traction energy, passionate energy towards you, energetic and physical attraction is there. The Five of Pentacles, there is this energy of lack. And I don't feel like this is that they think you are less than. I feel like they would fall short. And this makes sense with all this self, energy that they do fear being left behind and abandoned, left out in the cold, not being enough for someone. And that's what holds them back from opening their heart quite a bit. And this goes back way before they ever met you, back into their childhood, right? So they've been carrying that for quite a while. Yeah, the Page of Cups, so they do have some heightened emotion that's there, for you here. Happy emotion, a number 11 on the emotional scale. So they do have the passion, they have the emotion, but that lack smack right there in the middle between those, really puts a hindrance on acting on these emotions. Plus, on the other bookend, we have the Ace of Wands and the 10 of Wands. Lot of passionate energy. Which makes sense because when I get like this kind of energy, we go back to this. Um, I don't know my self love, so I can't give you love that I don't have for myself. But I've learned to express myself through motion and passion and intimacy, but not through the heart. And so this is like this they'll they'll want a lot of activity, but it's it's activity. It's like, well, I want more than just motion. I want emotion. Um, so below the surface here, let's see what we have here. Yeah, they do see you as creative and unique, true to your authentic self, which is something that they really like about you, but they realize they don't have for themselves. That's why it's so attractive to them because they're not being true to themselves. They're shrinking and hiding themselves. It's what they learn to do. And you got the Page of Swords. Yep. And seeking clarity, wanting more communication is kind of both of these, the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Swords are underneath the surface. So it's something that they want, but it also, I feel like I'm getting like this sense of, uh, it's fear, but I'm trying to see what the energy around it is because it's like, I'm afraid if I communicate more too much that you're going to see the kinks in my armor. You're going to see behind the veil, see behind the curtain and see the vulnerabilities I really have. And that's weakness. I can't let people see that. So interesting. So I feel like that's kind of what's going on there. Let's see what the fortune cookie brings in here. All right, they do want this one for you. So from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, yeah, we got darkness. Let's see if I can do this here without so much glare. There we go. Not so bad there. Card 40. The lone, I'm sorry, the long night moon. Open right up to it. So you're entering a time of introversion, a leaner time, or a time to turn inward to plan and strategize. It don't feel like it's going to go anywhere, evidently. Kind of got that already in the reading. You probably picked that up too. It is time to do shadow work, which will bring I can't even talk, big dividends later on. Release what no longer works for you. Your affirmation, the darkness needs to be there as much as does the light. One of the earliest human fears is said to be a fear of the dark. We fear what we can't see, and we fear what may be hiding. In reality, the dark is as important as the light. In nature, there are many nocturnal animals that go about the business of living under the moon, not the sun. The darker times of the lunar and seasonal cycles signal a time to naturally turn inwards, to stay close to home, to look closely at ourselves, and to plan for the light. In the northern hemisphere, the long night moon usually occurred in December around the winter solstice. This is when the nights are indeed long and the hours of sunshine short. It's cold and people would begin to be snowed in. It is during these long nights we can begin to do our shadow work, undertaking the self reflection needed to identify what isn't working for us and what might be causing us pain. This could be a bad habit, a destructive pattern, a recurring useless fear, or anything that holds us back from being the best we can be. Once we see these aspects of ourselves in the dark, we can simply decide whether they must go. We can decide to release them once and for all. We get to transform. And your companion stone is onyx for this. So feels like they're pointing you back into you and, they can work on themselves over there. So that's what they got for you, Sean. Hopefully that helps a little bit, bring some clarity. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. So I think that is it for my donations currently. Hey, Cat Mia, good to see you. Meow meow. Got you on the free list here. And let me get everything set up. We'll start free readings here momentarily. Let me just get these all keyed up here. All set to go. And let me just make sure here. One more pass. Take a quick sip here, and we will dive into free reading. So cheers, cheers, everybody. All right. So, Miniheel, you're up first. 145.07 is yours. Whoops. All right. Okay, I have it now. This was your timestamp. So 145.07. So have you already met your future spouse? Let's take a look here. Based on your current energies, have you met your future spouse? You got the Eight of Swords and the Hanged Man. Not quite yet. The Hanged Man is a pausing energy, which is giving you time to reflect and see things from a higher perspective. And the Eight of Swords is about letting go of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that no longer serve you, letting go of those things that made you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small. So this has to do a lot about um, you're s- you're still in the process, kind of the pre-work, the pre what do they used to call it? The prerequisites, for classes or whatever. You're in the shedding stage of some expectations and beliefs that are required in order for you to open up and see clearly and go, oh, there they are. Because if we keep all these expectations, we're gonna takes us a long time to kind of turn to be able to see them, but expectations can be dropped faster, and then the connection can come sooner. So the more you question all the thoughts and beliefs you have around the relationships, the faster that you guys get drawn to one another as well as the work, whatever they're doing, because it takes two to draw each other together. But you can do your work, you can't do theirs. Right? So that's what they have for you, Mini Hill. Many blessings to you. Thank you, Shanji. I think I just had another donation come through for you. Maybe. There it is. Yep, sure was. So as soon as you put your question out, we'll dive into your second donation there. But just for time, I'll continue to do free readings until I see it. So user PC is up 147.25. I don't know why I do that, but I just feel like it's that kind of energy. And you like a general read. Let's see here. What do they have for you? User PC. Got this. And nope, they don't want those. They want this. So something about seeing things differently, because there was these other cards and I'm like, no, it's not those. That's I thought I was going to go for, but it's like, nope, it's this one. And that's what's kind of coming in here. You do have this little time of energy here with the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing yourself, focusing in on your own emotions. The Queen of Pentacles does have an Ace of Cups behind the scenes, so there is emotional energy below the surface here. And I even got the moon on there. Um, and especially if you can get out into nature, this will help you as well and balance some energy that are coming in. But the Five of Cups is to go look at some it's like there's this time of transformation. I mean, the Five of Cups. You got the two cups behind, which is the power of emotional choice. And with this Five of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like there is a situation that you kind of feel bummed about, some sorrow energy around, and that it's important for you to take the time. And reflection in nature feels like what you're being drawn to, even if it's going to a park nearby or into a backyard that has trees or whatever. But it's about getting out underneath the sky and feeling that connection to Mother Earth and feeling the nurturing to be able to, along with that, it's almost like you're taking your inner child and holding them and allowing this low vibrational emotional energy to be transmuted, because there's something I feel like that has been triggering lately. And so this person said something, this person said something, this person said something, I'm dreaming about it, I saw it in a movie. It's like, all right, I get it, this is something to be looked at, it's ready to be looked at and transmuted, so that you don't have to charge that energy or use energy to push it down anymore. It's allowing it to be set free in a way. So I feel like that's what they want you to know right now. So that's what they got for you. Many blessings to you. All right. So Sean G, thank you for your additional donation. I do see your question. Here is your, I don't know why I suddenly went French. So thank you for your donation via the Cash App. We're in Europe, going between French and German. So let's take a look here. You and your landlord are going back and forth. You owe money, but they still haven't fixed a lot of your apartment, and you're in court now. What is their energy towards you? You feel like they're trying to intimidate you, but I'm not going to stand down. They need to fix your apartment, right? How fun. Let's take a look here. So, what is their energy towards you? Let's take a look here. We've got this, we've got this, and we've got this. And then what else do you need to know here? We've got here and here and here. All right. Yeah, we've got the high priestess energy here on the bottom of the deck, which she's very intuitive. So I feel like, like you feel like they're trying to intimidate you with that high priestess. That's telling me you're on the money. You're picking up the energy, what's being put down, or you're picking up what's unseen, um, and not obvious. It's like your energy, the hidden is about to be brought to light, energy. So what is their energy towards you? Yeah, we got the 7 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands. They feel like if they can go slow enough that they can win the argument, win the battle here with the 5 of Wands. They're playing the slow game and trying to delay things, and they figure if we wait long enough, then you'll give in, kind of energy. They don't know you very well, do they? Let's see what's underneath the surface, as well. This is what I feel will be revealed. We do have the 2 of Wands. Do you feel like it's interesting? I normally don't get this energy from him, but it feels like there's two ulterior motives. Let's see. We got two cards. Are these what these are? Yeah, it's interesting that both of these are kind of spotlight energy, because you've got the Hanged Man, which is seeing things from different perspectives, but I feel like this is a hung court energy. And the 6 of Wands is normally a kind of a spotlight energy too. It's like walking the fence, and I feel like there's more going on than meets the eye. I feel like what's going on with you is just a tip of an iceberg of stuff that's going on. Um, and I just feel like there's it would be something like they're on the verge of bankruptcy, or they're on the verge of selling the building, or there's like something more going on behind the scenes. That's, again, this is the stuff that's going to come to light, and I feel like that's also why they're kind of slowing it, because um then they're like, well, here, it's your guys' problem now. So it feels like there's something going on here with that, and they're trying to stay out of the spotlight. um but they're with these other two, it's like, nope, it's going to be spotlighted, it's going to come out here. Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we have here? We've got the Justice card. Wow, I love that. So don't worry. It feels here, justice will be served. Um, so again, this clarity is going to come out, um, and I feel like we'll see here. I feel like you'll win your case. You have the 3 of Swords, which is like you're not going to get everything that you're expecting, but I feel like, let's see what this other card is, like, 'cause I feel like you're gonna get a lot of it, yeah. So the Wheel of Fortune, you will feel fortunate even though, you're not gonna get, like, 100% of everything you're asking for. They'll I feel like they'll do something of, "Well, this is the minimum of what's required, and we'll give you these many days to do it." And you're like, "I want it done tomorrow," right? But they're like, "Well, we have to, this is the standard. We have to give them, 30 days to fix these things, and then, this much extension is possible, blah, blah, blah." So, but I feel like you're gonna get, what you want in court here, um, majority of it, but not everything. But it feels like justice will be served, and, I feel like that's their energy, is that they're really looking to sell and get out, of this building, because I do feel like they're, like, on the verge of bankruptcy, and that's why they're not able to do a bunch of things, because 'cause they're running out of money and, um, effort, care, you know, the leaving blues energy. They're like, "Well, if we don't do it once we sell it, they'll fix everything, they'll have to, not us." Your fortune cookie, yeah, I am never stuck. I like this. I know that nothing bad lasts forever, even when my emotions tell me otherwise, right? So I like this. I'm not stuck. Yeah, and I like it. I know you probably love where you're at and you don't want to move, but what I love is they're telling me you're not a tree. You can get up and move anytime you want too. You're like, no, I'm not going to lose. All right. So that's what they have for number two. I do see number three came in here for you as well. So as soon as you put that question out there, I'll dive into that one as well. Thank you for your multiple donations. I appreciate that. Shout out to Grandma for the 111. Boom, boom. Good. If I didn't have to clean it up, I'd pour one out for our homie. So, I'll give you a sec here to type out your next question, and then I'll return back to free readings. We don't have a ton. We had like quite a few last night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 free readings remaining so far. So that's where we'll return to here in a momentito. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you for all the thumbs up too. It does help spread the Zen love, and I'm so grateful that you're part of the love tsunami, helping spread that amazing love energy to the world. So thank you guys so much. All right. So no pressure, Sean. Whenever I see your question, I'll jump down to yours there. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to jump to a DT. You are up 158.16 is your timestamp here. And you want to know, what are Anmol's thoughts and feelings for you? All right, let's take a look here. What are their thoughts? What are their feelings? So their thoughts, yeah, we got the Ace of Pentacles. And there is this energy of just, I feel like they're wanting more of a restart. Um, let's see what their feelings are, because this will give us clarity. Yeah, and they got the Five of Cups. So kind of this sad Z energy, focusing in on this lower vibration, emotional energy. It almost feels like they're, well, it doesn't almost feel, it feels like they are in this, well, if I'm unhappy, it's because it's your fault. And so I feel like I need to be with someone else. And I feel like that's kind of how they go about, it's their pattern. I'm unhappy, it's their fault. Okay, well, may try this person. Well, they can't make me happy too. Maybe it's this person. Well, no, I'm unhappy still. It must be them. Got it. They haven't really clicked that there's a common denominator in it all, and it is that they're unhappy on the inside. And if we're unhappy on the inside, no one can make us happy, because we can't That's an inside job. Happiness is an inside job. Once we're happy, people can add above and beyond onto it, but their happiness can't counter our unhappiness. And no one can do that for us either. Our own happiness is an inside job. And I feel like that's what's going on with them here. I feel like they're in this kind of blaming you for that they're unhappy. And it's like, that's your emotional choice, baby. That 5 of cups, 3 spilt cups, but there's 2 cups on the wall on the little shelf, which is power of emotional choice. You get to choose how you feel, not me. I can make it easier or harder for you to choose lower or higher vibrational emotion, but I can't force you to feel anything. That's your choice. All right. So that's what they have for you right now, Aditi. Many blessings to you. All right. And then we got plate of spaghetti at 20050. Boom, boom, boom. So here is your timestamp. Plate of spaghetti. So your free question is, what is Will's energy towards you after your last message to him last night? All right. Something. Okay. I see. So let's see here. So after your last message to him last night, what is his energy towards you? We got the 10 of Pentacles. There is this abundance energy and the 2 of Swords that's coming in here too. Definitely this, I'm trying to decide what a relationship means or doesn't mean to me. And it's kind of like they're fluctuating, going back and forth. They're not sure what they want to do. And they're still in this kind of, I don't know, like stagnant. I'm not sure what what a relationship means to me, what I want from one. Do I want one? Do I want one with you? I just feel like they're standing at this crossroads and they're just confused about what they're wanting, and they're they keep changing stories around things. And what I mean by that is, in one moment they've got this kind of story of um I don't know, this story of happy ever after, and then they have a horror story, and then it's a comedy. I just feel like they keep changing the story of what's unfolding because they're undecided. They can't just make up their minds. And I feel like that's I know it can be frustrating too. It's like you need to decide what you want, and um, you need to decide if you're able to give me what I feel I need in a relationship. And if not, then I just need to know, because then I can let you go. It feels like kind of where you're coming from. But, their energy here, you know, it definitely feels like a big indecision energy that's coming in. So um, I don't feel like they can talk about how they feel because they don't know. It's very unstable, energy. So, and it's like they go back between, the 2 of Swords is like this battle between the head and the heart, and that's why they're kind of, back and forth, with energy that's coming in here. And so in one moment they'll express their heart, and then the mind will shut them down and share something else, and you're like, what do you have, a split personality? Well, we all do. Our mind and our emotions. A lot of times they're not on the same page. So hopefully that helps, Spaghetti. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. All right. You didn't realize you put in for a third reading? I think it is here. I got the email. That's funny. Must have been God. Thank you, God. How long were you out for? Did you black out? All right, and then I see your free question too. I'll get you onto the list here for the free question. So we'll eventually come back around for that. All right, so for question number 3 for your donations, here is all 3 of your timestamps and anything that your higher self wants you to know. All right, let's take a look here. and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. Ending in a 1. All right, let's see what we got here. Patience, grasshopper, patience. Well, we got temperance on the bottom. And it is a patience card. It is trust the timing. Even when you can't see things moving forward, trust here. This is alchemy, things going back and forth, as the as you p- as the- in this example when they're pouring, usually they're pouring between two cups, and as it's going back and forth, it's magically transforming into gold, and we don't see it changing until suddenly there it turns to gold. And and so I feel like the underlying message with the temperance card, it's Sagittarius energy. It's high vibrational joy and, that fire energy. And I feel like the message is just with whatever we're waiting when things are unfolding, lower vibration slows down the process of alchemy, higher vibration speeds it up. When we talk about this a lot, right, about joy and gratitude and unconditional love and laughter and play, that when I'm happy and joyful and grateful, then things unfold higher and faster vibration back. When I'm in low vibration, it draws in more of that and it doesn't turn out well, and it's becomes um, you know, uh, a battle instead of flow. It's things are held back by chains instead of things move quickly and flow more. So in whatever you can do and whatever interactions you have, what do they say? You get more bees with honey than crap, right? So if I want more honey, I give honey. If I want more crap, I give crap, right? And so I feel like that's an important energy coming in here with temperance because it applies to every area of our life, whether it's landlords or cell phone companies or um, you know um, clients or students or whatever. It's like, yeah, whatever we give out is how we get it back quite a bit. Let's see what else they want you to know here. So you've got the Two of Wands. Yeah, that's that energy. Whatever we focus on with our energy is what we draw in. So, you know, if we feel like I'm having a difficult time, go, okay, how am I being difficult, either to other people or to myself? And then that's when we set ourselves free. Usually it starts here, right? So let's say, landlord, how am I being difficult with myself? I have these high expectations of that people are supposed to do what I ask. And when they don't, I get upset instead of, you know what? I'm going to turn into what am I grateful for? What have they done that I'm grateful for? Let me try to find something, right? I'm grateful that they don't have a chicken coop outside my window where I'm woken by roosters every morning, whatever it may be. Sometimes we have to look at what we're grateful for, but hopefully let's focus on something they are doing. Just kind of an example, and we can see what unfolds. But the Two of Wands is reinforcing that. Yeah, the Eight of Pentacles, transformational energy. And this is that alchemy, trusting that the things that we're wanting to transmute within us, the things we're wanting to melt away will come up in conflict. Our growth, our growing pains come through conflicts. And when something isn't working out, there's something I'm wanting to learn through that to help me release something so that I can be freer, to where I can be a butterfly someday. Instead of a caterpillar crawling along the ground, I can fly, right? So I feel like they're kind of telling you, these things. And with the Five of Cups too, the power of emotional choice. I was just talking about that, right? You got the Two of Cups back here. We can focus on spilt cups and have more spilt cups, or I can choose a different emotional energy and going, what do I want more of in my life? Do I want more drama, more fighting, more disagreements. Do I want that? Meh. Sometimes we do. Drama can be fun, but um, I like this. The power of changing it as well. Let's see what else we got here. So you got the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands, and there is this energy here, and I feel like there's something to be looked at with the Six of Pentacles. This is like what do I deserve energy? And I feel like they're saying that some energy can be invested into looking back to our like 7 years old and younger, our emotional inner child who was the one who determined the rate of exchange of what do I have to give in order to receive? Because really, the two things that impact, I know we probably talked about this before, but it's a good reminder for us all. The two things that impact how we receive or if we'll receive is what am I focusing on with my energy? Higher vibration, lower vibration. If I'm focusing on lower vibration, it's going to push things away. If I'm focusing on higher vibration, it's going to bring it to the city gate of me. But to get through the gates into there, our little emotional inner child determines the rate of exchange. If we're one to one, the gates are wide open. Whatever we give, it comes right in. If it has an at a balance rate of exchange where it feels we have to give 1,000 coins to get one back, it keeps the gates closed till the counter goes up to where it feels we've given 1,000. It opens it up, allows one in, closes it, resets it back to zero. We got to work up to 1,000 again. So there is something here about, being aware of our energy, being aware of what below the surface in our subconscious is there with this rate of exchange that's there. We've got the Four of Swords and the Hierophant. Yeah, and there is this energy here with this. The Hierophant is the, you know, teacher, the one that allows us through conflict to experience and learn, because that five is a card of change, a card of conflict. And the Four of Swords allows us to question our thoughts and beliefs to where we can put it to rest and we can have a mind at rest. So I do feel like, again, they're kind of saying here that just know that this conflict that comes up is coming up to set you free and realize where our energy is at so we can be free from some old, beliefs of I have to give so much to deserve so little. Yeah, and you end up with the devil card. Yeah, here's that Capricorn Saturn energy. If you'll do the work, you'll get the reward with Saturn, the taskmaster. But this is about letting go of some long held thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And it does feel as if your cage has been rattled lately, which we do go through our Saturn return anywhere from what, like 20, 25? No, it'd be 24 to 34. I can't do math right now because it's usually around 29. Every 29 years, our Saturn returns back to where it was when we were born, and it shakes up our long-held beliefs. And it can, because it's so far out, it can impact us 5 years before and after. And so it starts rattling our cage so that we're aware of the cage so that we can be freed from the cage. And I feel like that's a lot of energy that's going on with you. So fun, fun. I know. Let's see what your fortune cookie says around this one here. Thank you. Don't I do see you put a fourth question. So you did mean to do the fourth one, right? Spirits hijacking your account. Yeah, I love it. I know that every dream in my heart is waiting to bloom. I am ready to grow. We were talking about growing pains, right? That this is what's happening is you're growing through all this conflict and, you know, the things in court taking forever around your dad's, estate and all that stuff. And you're just like, I'm going to be so strong by the end of this. So I love that. So that's what they have for that one, Sean. Let's put your other one here. We did get another one from JoJo. Thank you so much, JoJo, for your additional one. I'm going to take a quick sip here. Cheers, cheers. All right. So Jojo 21503 is for number 4. Yeah, I know, right? Don't mess with me. Bam, bam. You're gonna put on the gun show. So, Jojo, thank you for the puppy dog there. And a fun question, a message from your dog who is alive but sleeping, which is generally a lot of the case. Dogs do nap a lot. Like, it's tough being these converters of emotions. All right, let's take a look here. So, what does your doggy have to say to you here? Okay. Oh, that one you went there. All right. All right. Of course, get the 9 of pentacles on the bottom. You need to spend more time at home. Do you ever see those like Instagram memes where I was at this party and I started to feel suddenly sick and I had a pain in my leg and I don't know why, and then they cut over to the dog at home with a voodoo doll and doing a ritual to try to get them to come home because dogs want their masters at home. That's funny. So this 9 of pentacles, kind of a little joke. I want you at home more, but they're laughing as they say this. So let's take a look here. We got the 7 of pentacles. They do say here, kind of need to slow down a little bit, be patient. And I like this energy because dog energy, our expression when we are dogs is about being in the now, being in the moment, enjoy the growth, enjoy each step, enjoy what's happening right now. They live so much in the now, and that's one of the great things that they teach us. They're kind of telling you, yeah, watch me. I like living in the moment, and that helps you too. It's a good reminder to slow down and enjoy each moment. You have the 5 of pentacles. Yeah, look at someone with their dog. They enjoy here. The 5 of pentacles can mean feeling left behind, left out in the cold, that kind of energy, but I don't feel that with this card from them. They're telling you what they do enjoy, because they don't focus on lack is what they're trying to say. They focus on what does happen, what is going on. A lot of when we're like, oh, they want to go out more, they want to do this, they want to do that. That's us. That's a human thing. We focus on lack. Dogs don't focus on lack. They focus on what's next, what's happening now, what's going on, you know, because they don't. Like, if you take them for a ride or take them for a walk, you get back and they're like, "Ready for another walk?" Because they don't remember the past and they don't look to the future. They live in the now, so much, but they do pick up on a lot of our emotions. That's why that's why we kind of put our personality onto dogs going, "Oh, they must be feeling sad." Maybe we're feeling guilty about not doing something with them, but they're like, "Don't put that on me. I don't feel that way at all." Yeah, and the 8 of Pentacles. Well, this 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, all this transformation, putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears. And there is this, um, "I'm going with you, right?" You're like, "You don't know any better?" Underneath that, we do have the Queen of Wands too, which they know your energy, your power, they see that you're putting in a lot of effort in life, and they're basically telling you, "You'll get the bone, every dog gets their bone, you'll get the bone, you'll get it." But there is this transformation energy with 8 of Pentacles, which is movement, and, like, they can sense that your anxiety about wanting to move and doing all this, and they joke, "You are taking me with you, right?" And you're like, "If they'll let me, yes, I will." See what else they have here for you. Yeah, I like this. Here's that 2 of Cups with the rabbit's energy and the fox energy, and, um, I feel like they're letting you know I do recognize other spirits. I just can't communicate it to you because 'cause I'm a dog. but they're like, in the space of who I am, I do recognize and see the multiple spirits that are, with other animals and all these experiences. But the Two of Cups is about the emotional choice energy too, which when we were talking about, the the emotional energy that they pick up is I help transmute. I can't choose your emotions for you, but part of my purpose of being in your life is to help you transform emotion. So when you're feeling low and my tail's wagging and I'm near you and I sense it, just know I am doing my part to help transmute your energy. And that's why I need some naps sometimes because they do that. And I do kind of have this energy here. We've got the Tower card, the Star card, which some of this has to do with lightning and storms and seeing the stars at night, that they enjoy nature with you, but they also know here, I feel like they're telling you that, your dream come true of the star will happen suddenly and out of nowhere, and it's okay. It's okay. I just feel like there's gonna be a sudden change that comes in and a sudden movement, and I feel like they're giving you, not that you need permission, but they're giving you permission to go, if you have to go suddenly, if you need to leave me with someone temporarily, I'm okay with that. I feel like they're saying here the suddenness of following your dream. They're like, if you need to, you know, um, have me stay with a friend, I don't feel like family. They're like, but But they're saying that wherever I end up, I'm there on purpose to help people transmute energy too. So that you have your dream and I have what my dream is, which is to help people with their emotional energy. So if you need to go do something, just trust that I'm going to end up with the person that needs me in that moment until you can send for me. Oh, Buddha, 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 boo, boo. I know, right? Tear. And they're like, I'm okay with it. Don't put your guilt on me. That's funny. All right. And then the fortune cookie says, I am abundant. I know that money flows to me freely when I pursue my passions. So I like them telling you here, you are abundant and you will be abundant. Follow your passions. Things will flow to you. Um, Kind of that, don't worry, everything's gonna be fine kind of energy. So I like that. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for all of your multiple donations. I love these fun questions too. I love all the questions. She's wicked. Too funny. All right. So thank you again, my dear. Many blessings. Go to sleep or good morning to you. It might be morning there or really early in the morning. All right. So many blessings. Always good to see you. Right. So Sean G, you are up for number 4 as well. So here are all 4 of yours. Thank you for the multiple donations. Come on. And then we will circle back around for your free ones. A free one. And so this one is here. Oh, yeah, because I had a follow up. So, what's the energy around you and your friend B? It's been weird because I went through a lot and been distance. I want us to be good, but I don't know how to go about this relationship. It's been weird. All right. All right. So, let's take a look here. What's the energy around you and your friend B? All right. I feel like this is the big one, and then this here. Okay. How to go about the relationship here. What advice? that one. No, I don't want those. I want these two, though. All right. And this one, too. And that one. X marks the spot. All right. All right. Let me take a quick sip here. Cheers, cheers, cheers to you. So we got the Justice card as the underlying energy. Libra energy does roll over the house of relationship, and there's a lot of clarity coming in here with the Ace of Swords that they have and the balancing of the scales. So there does seem to be something that needs to be clarified, and we'll find out what that is. We got a lot of cards, so we'll find out what this is, they say, but there definitely is something that's not being seen clearly between the two of you. It's like you're seeing things from one perspective, they're seeing it from another, and you guys are missing the point with each other kind of energy. It's like, oh, well, if I know where they're coming from, then I can understand them. Um, but I feel like you're both assuming where each other are coming from, and I feel like you're both are off the mark kind of energy. So we'll see what's going on here. The first card of your reading, yeah, the Five of Cups. So there is some hurt feelings, some sorrow, some low vibrational emotional energy that's at the root of all this. And we'll see what this is. This is the cards that came next to it. Yeah, we got the Eight of Swords. So there are some thoughts and beliefs and expectations that you guys, like all humans, we have this long list of the way we think things are supposed to be and what things mean. But it's like everyone has a different dictionary on what things mean and with the stories and what things are supposed to be and should be. And this Eight of Swords is about gaining the clarity of letting go of expectations of who someone should be, knowing that expectations are what suck the life out of things, right? Because we're always focusing on here is the bar and everyone else is always we're always in the negative, and if we ever have the ability to get up to here, it's zero, and so we don't live in this place of abundance with things. We're always living in lack. We're always living in someone disappointing us. When we try to live from the heart without all those expectations, things that we love that people do is immediate abundance. We don't have to do all this work to get up to zero to start having abundance. We start at zero and have abundance right away. And so there is this kind of energy of clearing away some mindsets and thoughts. And let's see what these three cards are below the surface, if they'll tell us more about it here. And we got the Nine of Pentacles. There's this energy, if we can't be happy alone, we can't be happy with other people. So there's that energy here, expecting, and this can be from both sides or one side, that I expect people to be a certain way and be present and show up for me. And when someone doesn't show up for me, then I'm disappointed in them. Got the Eight of Wands. There's a lot of fire here between the two of you. Um, but this feels like this feels like this has to do with tone, and you both speak to each other, it feels like, with a fiery tongue, but you just feel like that's normal. That's New York, right? You're just like, you should just take it. But there's something about inner children that get upset with how things are said or words that are said, that it's like, why is that irritating me? It's because it was said to us when we were younger. And why are they getting irritated? Because that's something that was said to them when they were younger. And we don't realize that it's amplifying something subconsciously. That's where, yeah, the Nine of Swords, nightmares and insomnia, a lot of fears from the past, a lot of expectations from the past that bubble up. And it's funny because it's like they're showing me, like, if you've ever been with someone, um, like in a relationship and, we're sleeping in the same bed and you dream that they cheated on you and you wake up mad, even though it's not real, you're mad. That's kind of the energy they're having here, is that, even though what they're doing, what you're doing or what they're doing isn't really this. um, violation of, things, there's something that's bothering below the surface, like that's like an illusion that comes up. And so I feel like there's this not seeing things clearly and a lot of this living from, below the surface. Let's see what they're saying here. What to do with this relationship then? Yeah, I like this here. We do have this, the King of Pentacles, which is gratitude. Instead of focusing in on what they're not being, who they're not doing, the weird things that they're doing, let's focus on what do I love about what they are doing. Because the more I focus on what I love what they're doing, more of that happens, more of that grows, and we're able to see more of that. Um, Balance with the star card here too. Aquarius energy, which is compartmentalize the emotion and allow each other with the Seven of Wands to be true to each other's authentic self. Don't feel like they need to shrink or ask permission to shine or be themselves. It's like you let them be them and you let yourself be you. They'll let you be you and they'll let themselves be them too. So I like this. Let go of all this supposed to be, should be, need to be, and focus in on the gratitude is the big thing. And, when we release them from all these expectations, then we allow them to be themselves and we celebrate that and we don't expect them to be something that they're not, right? Let's see what else they had here too. Yeah, we have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups tells me that there is past life connections between the two of you here. And and I feel like some of this that's bubbling below the surface does have to do with past life, that there are some emotional energies that are coming in here. And I'd be curious. I wonder if this is what this X is. X marks the spot. Or these two cards. Let's see if they'll tell us here. Yeah, I feel like these other two cards will tell us, this X will tell us who you guys were in a past life to. Because we do have the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Swords, which goes from fiery to balanced. When you feel something rising inside of you, it's like breathe and come back into balance. And again, this balancing energy of the star card too. But it's like it can be that sometimes we can become comfortable with each other and then it's like, oh, I can spout off at you. You're safe to spout out at, and they think you're the same. And then when we do, we're like, oh, I can't believe you did that, So it's about balance coming in here. Let's see here. What's this past life about? Who were you guys? Yeah. You were mother and child. Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, the Fool card, the child, the newborn, child energy. So you guys, and you might even have been swapped, where in one lifetime you were mother, they were child, another lifetime the roles were reversed. And that's why there's this kind of mother-child relationship that kind of kicks in where, you know, you feel like you're the one that's the mom and they're the child, but from their perspective, they're the mom and you're the child. And so there is this kind of butting of heads. The same thing when like a mother lives with a daughter-in-law. I've seen it a lot in life from a lot of people. It's the matriarchs battling with each other, thinking that they're the matriarch of the situation. So I feel like, awareness around these things coming in here and focusing on gratitude as much as you can, releasing the control that they can be them and I can be me, and I don't need to control who they're being and who they're not being. And that'll just allow this flow in life to flow in to your friendship rather than um, conflict, competition in a way. So hopefully that helps. Let's see what your fortune cookie is here. Oh, none of those. Let's see here. What is this one? Whoa. Pew, pew. So we've got, yeah. I know that each step I take toward one dream creates momentum for the next. I am moving forward. So it's kind of let free them from any violations, knowing there were no violations. Those were expectations that I had. And, whose fault is it when we put expectations on someone and they don't live up to it? Them for not living up to it or us for putting it on them? And does there need to be fault at all? That's where the forgiveness comes in, going realizing there was no rule of who they should be or shouldn't be, what they should do or not do, say or not say. That was all constructed in here, actually in here. And when I free everyone from it, then everyone can be free. So I like that. Hopefully that helps, Sean. That's what they have for you. We'll circle back around for your free question here in a moment. Yeah, let me just take a look here. I think I missed some people coming in. Let me just see here. So I got Cat Mia. Yeah, I got Cat Mia. I got your free question. Shanji, there's your free question there. Okay. So that's where I ended off. Oh, yeah, we have Ravit. Hello, Ravit. Good to see you. Sorry that I missed saying hello to you. Let's get you on the free list here. And then, okay, we did that one. Oops. And then Blueberry. Hey, Blueberry. Good to see you. We got your free reading. We'll get you on here. And then Leslie, welcome. Hey, you are very welcome. Oh, good. I'm glad it was accurate. And you love the dog message. Oh, don't you love those? I do love hearing from animals and spirit on the other side. It's just always so great. All right. So I think that's it for my donations right now. So cheers, cheers. We'll return back to free readings here. So thank you guys for being here. And thanks for all the thumbs up. It does help spread the Zen love. And I'm so grateful for all of you that do that. It's free and it helps the channel and my videos and streams get in front of people. So thank you for that. All right. Coffee's getting low. It's getting very hot. And there's only a little bit in the bottom. Don't want it to boil. All right. So we had left off. We were to Ateshi sing next. So Ateshi, 237:37. Here is your timestamp. And you want to know, why has HL gone quiet around you? Uh-oh, they gone dark or silent. They're still around you, but they're all being quiet here. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. We got the King of Wands here, and they're busy thinking about what they want and life and where they're going, and they're really taking control of their life. And with this 5 of Cups, I feel like they like this energy that I'm getting as I'm sitting in that, as they look at you, is I feel like if I say anything that it's going to upset you, because I feel like they have this idea that I'm disappointing you, that I'm not being who you want me to be. And I feel like if I say something, it's not going to be the right thing to say. And you're going to be unhappy about it. And it's better just to stay quiet. So I feel like they're just like, rather than risk, upsetting you in any way, because they have this idea for some reason that you get upset easy. And, uh, and that can just be their perception on the inside. Doesn't mean it's true. Everyone's perception is their reality, because we're a mirror. Who knows what they see when they look in here? Because if they think you get upset easy, what does that mean about them? Oh, mirror. So, it's like, all right, they have their reasons. I can't change it. Um, so why invest more energy into it, right? Chop, chop, let it go. Use your energy for something that you can control, which is your own dreams and your own stories and emotions and energy and actions. You can't control anything that's going over there. So, that's what's happening there. Right. So that's what they got for you. So many blessings to you. All right. Oh, interesting. I can make that your free question. I'll throw you onto the list here and we'll find out who it is. He does live with 2 cats, 2 dogs. Oh, how fun. Yeah, we can find out from Spirit to see what is there. All right. So, Lily Cherry Blossom, you're up to 4024. There is your timestamp. So, what will be his reaction in the way of response if I texted him in the coming occasion? All right. Based on current energies, can always change, right? But based on their current energies, what will their reaction be and how will they respond? All right. So, the reaction, which is the first, you know, the Ten of Pentacles, full feeling of fullness and wholeness and abundance, happy energy. It's abundant energy. Uh, so that's a good reaction is, oh, look, you texted me, da 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 da. Because I feel like they're in this place. It feels like they feel like I'm in this place of abundance. Things are going really good. Oh, look, a text. I feel like they're in an upbeat mood um, with the coming occasion in this. And the way they'll respond, yeah, we got the dream come true energy. So it feels like based on their current energy, being in that mood and that attitude of feeling like they're on top of the world, that you catch them at the right time, the dream come true, and I feel like they respond to you in a way that you feel like, okay, this is what I would want, how I would want them to respond. So, it feels good, it feels positive here with both of these cards. They're very positive energies, so based on the current energies of where they're headed and the decisions they're making, it feels like you catch them in a really good mood that comes in, so I like that for you. Right, so that's what they have for you, Lily Cherry Blossom. Alright. Alright, oh, thank you, Leslie, for your donation. So you wanna make that, your question for your donation? Let me get up here and oh, didn't scroll up far enough. That's why I was go. Where did your name go? It's up here. All right, so do 4226. Thank you so much for that donation. Boom, boom. Give that a love and a like here. I'll remove you off the free list here. Okay. And so another dog wants to live with you. What do you think? Second dog in the past week? You know, didn't didn't the reading that I had before, wasn't there like, well, there's a second dog coming your way too, right? This seems to sound familiar. So let's take a look here. So, is the second dog the one that's to be here and tell us more about this here? What else? I do want that one. I do want that one. And these two. And that one here too. All right. Passed on the first puppy. Yeah, we got the bottom of the deck here. We do have like the Five of Swords, the Nightmare and Insomnia card on the bottom of the deck here. Um, and this does, it feels like the emotional choice energy. But let me see what these other cards are here to gain clarity because, I mean, you got the full card even underneath those cards, which is letting go of expectations and this, new adventure energy that's coming in here. But let me see here. So the first three cards that came out, all 3 years old. Oh, so you got the Hanged Man, which is pausing, clarity, seeing things from a different perspective. You got the Four of Wands, put your mind to rest. Again, a kind of a let go of expectations energy. And the Page of Wands, it's like this: trust your energy, trust the connection. You'll know it. Just like you knew when with this other puppy, you're like, it didn't resonate. It wasn't that. It wasn't there, right? Let's see what else we got. Got the Six of Cups energy. This is past life energy. Excuse me, let me take a quick sip here. It's that time of night. Oops, there's more in that cup than I thought. Almost went down the wrong pipe. Let me grab a throat lozenge too. But the Six of Cups energy, when I talk about it, it's kind of like what we were talking about, where when you meet someone that you've known in a past lifetime and there's emotional energy, I feel like you'll know it. You just there's this comfort level, this connection. You're like, whoa. And I feel like you'll have that with the dogs that are coming your way. Yeah, you have the King of Swords. Wait for clarity. It will show itself when it comes in with this, type of energy. You got the Five of Wands. It'll be obvious. It's almost like the dog will be airlifted in, even though that's a piñata. It's like you'll know it. It'll be very obvious. I like all this, this energy. They'll be hanging up here. Yeah, and the Two of Cups. There'll be this amazing, emotional connection here. The Four of Pentacles, they'll feel like home. So I feel like if you're able to interact with the dogs, that's where the energy will come in, right? Yeah. If you feel drawn to do it, I would. Yeah, you got the Three of Cups. Follow the joy, the happiness. This is spirit energy. And I feel like it's almost they're reminding me like um before I move anywhere, I try to go visit there first and then if the energy's there or not. If you get there, like one time I wanted to move to Chicago um at one point with one of my relationships. They were wanting to move and they went to go audition and try to get into the school of acting and different things. And so I went with them, and when I was there, I was really hoping that I'd be like, "Oh, wow, this energy, yes, this is drawing me here." And I went there and I'm like, "Oh no, empty. Psh, nothing was there." And I knew I'm not moving here. And I feel like that's the kind of energy is you'll meet them and you'll be like, "Well, they're cute and they're adorable, and I love the boo boo boo, but it doesn't feel like this connection." And so, it's like, don't be afraid to say no, right? Yeah. Says, I know that worrying only blinds me from the beauty that's all around me. I'm not stressing. So, you go with joy and just know that you'll know they'll feel like home. They'll feel like you know them from a past lifetime. And you'll be like, yep, this is the one. Here we go. You'll just know you'll feel it. And then when you don't, you know it's not them. So that sounds like a plan to go check it out. Trust your intuition, when you go. But, I feel like you're gonna be, meeting the new one here in the future, the brand new one. Um, but, you definitely can see how you feel about this one. It's like spirit is like I'm like, "Do we are you gonna tell them whether this is the one or not?" And they're like, "Nope, this is all about the adventure for you." Because I was like, "Don't you wanna tell them whether that's a yes or no, for the individual?" They're like, "No, we it's about you going and experiencing it." Because I keep on wanting to push them for that, and they're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, don't you" they're asking, "Don't you want them?" And, like, sometimes it's about learning and growing and not knowing the answer. It happened to me once before when someone, asked me if their girlfriend was pregnant, and they told me that she wasn't, but they told me not to tell them that she wasn't, but the message was to them was, you know, it's important how you react to whether she is or not that determines the relationship. So, it's not It's you not knowing, it's you preparing for either answer. So it's all about that. The not knowing was the important thing for them in that instance. After that, I told them, "If you don't want me to tell people stuff, don't tell me the answer. Don't make me." And so they've kept that promise. So when I push for the answer, they remind me sometimes like they just did. "You told us not to tell you if if it's a need to know and they don't need to know yet." I'm like, "Fine. Thank you." Alright, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Hopefully that helps. So thank you again for your donations. I appreciate those. I know, right? Ah. So you're so funny. All right, and then I got Maria P in the house. Hello, hello. I see your free reading. We'll add you to the list here. You're welcome. I know, right? And I think I just got a PayPal. This could be from Maria. Thank you, Maria. I see it here. I'll add you to the donation list. I think you're up now since I'm all cut up on the donations. So I'll do that. Let me see, get you on the free list here too. And I think that's oh nope, a DT. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, we did a reading earlier, right? Yeah, we did a reading earlier. So you are welcome. All right. So Maria P 251.34 is for your donation. There is your timestamp. Let's get into your PayPal here. All right. Dog, dog, cat, cat. Love, love. I like it. So let's see here, Maria. Wally's thoughts and feelings towards you today after your date. Dark side. Anything he hasn't told you that he wants you to know about? Disclaimer, what's coming for you at work this month? For you and Wally. Dr. B's thoughts on you today. What does David look at? Why does David look at you kind of mysteriously? Okay. All right, that's a lot of questions, so we're gonna bullet through them. As I just want to make sure you're okay with this, that if you ask a bunch of questions, they're just gonna be short, quick answers. If you want to dive into something, then the less questions you ask, the more deeper I dive into them. So, Wally's thoughts and feelings towards you today. You got the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there's this abundant energy that's looking forward to more opportunities of getting together and growth energy that comes in with that. It's an abundant energy. It's a very happy energy. After your date, went totally the other direction. No, I'm just kidding. Empress energy. It actually went even to this bigger abundance, major arcana abundance and birthing. And, you know, again, they see you as this empress. They get a lot of this in the readings with them. Sensuality, all this emotional energy, just this wonderful, deep connection that comes in with that. So good, good, good stuff there. Dark side, Two of Wands, you know, it's a good reminder. There's a lot of stuff that's unfolding, a lot of decisions to make, but I feel like this is more focused in on remember, whatever you focus on is what grows and expands in your life. So if you're focusing in on lack and that it's not happening fast enough and you want more and that pushes it further away, gratitude for what you love about the situation draws in more of that for you. So a great reminder to, if I focus on the dark and the lack, I get more of that. If I focus on the gratitude, I get more of that. Anything that he hasn't told you, the Seven of Pentacles. I don't feel like there's a whole lot here, but with the Seven of Pentacles, there is this energy of, some of the things that they, you know, thought that they would want, they have rethunk some of it. Like, I don't know what this cottage is, but they brought cottage to my brain, and you know what this is, I have no idea. You've mentioned cottage before, that's why they're bringing it back up, but it's like, "Oh, let's get this cottage. Yeah, it sounds great," and then they've thought about it, and they're like, "Well, maybe that's not really the perfect thing for a family and for long-term kind of stuff. Maybe we need to rethink that piece and maybe alter it a little bit," but it's not like a total no energy. It's like instead of that, maybe it's like this. And I feel like they just kinda haven't shared that with you because they're like, "I'll cross that bridge if we ever get to that point. It's nothing to worry about today. I got too much to think about today." Kind of energy, but that's like something they haven't really told you about. Nothing I don't feel like there's anything big and mysterious outside of that. What's coming for you at work this month? You'd have the 5 of swords. I I feel like this is resolving conflict is important here because this goes back to these individuals. Let me see if I can zero in that have their backs turned to you. Maybe it won't, but they have their backs to you because you've won arguments and they feel wronged by you and and you probably feel wronged by them, right? Everyone's perception is everyone else is at fault, right? That's why conflict happens. But I feel like there's this important energy for you to resolve conflict, resolve this conflict with others at work. And this has been coming up a few times and they've brought it back up again. For you and Wally this month, yeah, more clarity, more balance in the area of relationship, Libra energy that focuses on the house of relationship. So you're gaining more clarity about what you want, what you don't want. You guys are balancing the scales. And this we've heard this before too, where the scales never are like perfect. They're always moving. There's always things being added and moved off of. So if you're looking for the perfect balance, know that relationships never have that until someone's dead, and then it's, you're in control of balancing the scale. So as long as there's 2 people in a relationship, it's always moving, going back and forth, because people are always changing, humans are always changing. So I like that. Dr. B's thoughts on you today, you kinda shone bright like the sun. Um, they liked what they saw, feels like abundance energy, it feels, um like you were in a spotlight in a positive way, I feel with that energy. And then why does David look at you kinda mysteriously? Ooh, Knight of Wands. Um, there's attraction energy there, um, and they can't help. People can't help what they're attracted to, but, that would be physical attraction, energetic attraction, and they kinda look at you mysteriously, um, because there is that. It's not a crush or puppy love or anything. It's just mature attraction, and they try not to act on it. They try not to think about, it, but they just kind of feel like you're beautiful, and they're like, "Alright, gotta stop," you know, they kind of it's funny, "You're mesmerizing." Oh, they reminded me of Back to the Future when "You're my density." You're like, "You mean density? I mean destiny?" What a goober. Anyway, let's take a look here. So you've got you have will, uh, card number 13 here. So let's see what this is. The waxing gibbous. So decisions require action. You are in control of your own decisions in life, no one else's. Passion and will determine a great proportion of your success. You will persist. You possess free will, which means you should focus on yourself first and avoid placing your will over another's. Your affirmation is I have the will to make the changes I need. Will feels like a very old fashioned concept. In a modern world where it seems like everything is geared up to be as easy as possible, or there's always someone else to blame, the idea of placing our personal will persistently into something seems quaint. When we decide we're going to change something in our lives, let's say a particular negative pattern or bad habit, breaking the old way we do things can be difficult. The change requires a concentration of our will. We may want the change, but it is our will that insists we stay on the path to that change. To be willful means we have the power of control over our own actions, and that will fires up the persistence we need to get what we want. Contrary to popular belief, in witchcraft traditions, practitioners do not interfere with another's free will. This means we do not cast spells upon people to influence their behavior. First of all, it doesn't work anyway, but how do we get what we want instead? We cast on ourselves in line with our will, focusing carefully on what we would like in our lives instead. For example, instead of casting a spell to get back our ex boyfriend who doesn't want us by influencing his will to love us again, we more ethically cast upon ourselves for our ideal partner. This way, we don't interfere with his free will, and if the ex is our ideal partner, he'll return to us freely. If not, we've attracted someone new and better for us. Either way, win win. To use our will productively, we should assess what we really want and make sure this is what we want to reach for. Your companion stone is hematite if you're into crystals. So I like that for you. That's what they got for you, Maria. Whoops. Looks like another one just came in. All right. So that is for your first one. And then I do see a second one came in. So thank you so much for the additional one. We got 30213 for your second donation. There we go. And I'm in it already. So here we go. All right. Sorry, let me crunch my cough drop real quick here. All right. Message from Wally, message from Jeff. When is Wally making a move? Let's see, I'll do a when card here. Based on current energies. One card for that. We'll see what that is here. Will Dr. Bob give me that new position based on current energies? We'll take a look. A promotion coming for you. And when? All right. Get that here. And then anything Spirit wants you to know about work and love. Work and love. All right. Message from Wally. 10 of Cups. Partnership. I feel like you got this the other day when they asked for a message from Wally. But 10 of Cups, joy, overflowing, fullness, relationship, all the family, the togetherness energy. This is their message. It's like, I love you. I care for you. I have overwhelming emotion for you. And this is what I'm hoping for us. Message from Jeff. The 5 of Pentacles. Quite the opposite. Lack, falling short, fear of being abandoned, left behind, left out in the cold, not enough kind of energy here. And I feel like the message is just, I fear that people abandon me and leave me behind and let me out. And it's kind of, Wally has that too in their energy. But this feels like more geared towards yours is, and we've had this before, I feel, with them. One person I feel is never enough for me. Everyone always falls short on what I need. It's because they're unhappy on the inside and they want someone on the outside to make them happy, but no one ever does. That's why we always get all that two energy with them. that they always have 2 people in mind because they know 1 isn't enough for them. Um, and so I feel like that's the energy here, um, that they wanna know there. When is Wally making the move? A long time. That's how it feels for you. But I feel like they're kind of saying this here because, based on current energies, it does feel like you're living in that this should have happened a long time ago, and that's why it's like a long time ago is when you feel it should happen, but it's gonna happen in the perfect timing. But the more you focus in on that it's not happening and that it should have, you push it further away. Your energy actually extends it. So it's a big important energy to remember. Break the clock, enjoy the moment, and because the more you focus on what's not happening, you do push it further away. Um, will Dr. Bob give you that new position based on current energies? We have the high priestess energy here. And I want to see what these other 2 cards are because this energy I'm getting from here is intuition, but also hidden. And it's like, well, is it or not? And they're like, it's hidden. And we had a similar reading earlier where there's like sometimes there's a need to know, and it's being in the not knowing. Sometimes that's an important energy to learn and to grow. Let's see here. Um, Promotion. Will they tell you, do you have a promotion coming? Yeah, the 3 of Wands. There's this change of direction here. And the timing is the Judgment card, which is winter, which we're in winter for 8 more days. So it feels here like, and I feel like you got this before, you're gonna have to make a choice on your path here. Um, and again, we got this 2 number high priestess, the Judgment card to, when you had 20, 2 plus 0 is 2. Just feels like you're gonna have this choice, even in numerology as on here is a 2, that you're gonna have a choice to make between 2 kind of promotions, and you have to decide if, do you want this or do you want this? And I feel like so this feels like there's 2 coming up here. Um, so I feel like they don't give you the new position, but they present you with 2 options that, you have to decide on. Anything spirit wants you to know about work? Yeah, the fears, the 9 of swords. Expectations suck the life out of things. Like we talk about relationships, we talk about everything, you know, and so the more we can be grateful for what is and not focus on what's missing and what's not, and, that's where our conflict and everything comes from is the 9 of swords energy and love. Yeah, I like this. The 6 of cups, this, um, childlike energy coming in here. Um, Child energy is very important here around this love, but I'm feeling like more it's the 3 cups and the 3 cups energy that's coming in here with it, which is this energy of equal, love between the 2 of you, and that love is a mirror for you is really what's coming through. And so realize whatever mirror you're seeing is about you, and whatever they're seeing is about them. But I feel like it's important for you to really look into this. With love is, what am I feeling toward Wally and what do I feel they're feeling? Because that somewhere where you feel they're feeling is inside you and you're projecting it onto them. Same with the other, but you have no idea what's going on there. All you can focus in on is, who is this person? And like, what are you picking up over there that has to tell you about who you are, and what's going on inside you emotionally? Hopefully that makes sense. And then your fortune cookie is, I know that my dreams are bigger than my fears. I'm going to take risks. I like it. Like that you're going outside of the expectations and through all of the, security and all of that, and that you're stepping forward. So I like that for you. Right. So that's what they have for you, Maria. Thank you again for your dual donations. We'll circle back around for your free reading eventually as well. All right. So we'll get back into the free readings. We have Priscilla up next, 31035 for yours. Is your timestamp. And a love reading if F is thinking about you. Let's take a look here. So, is F thinking about you? So, we got the 10 of Pentacles. The Four of Wands definitely feels like it here because you've got the relationship energy and the marriage card here. So, I definitely, when we get this and we're asking if they're thinking about you, they are doing a lot of that contemplation and are are you someone that would make a great relationship that would help make my life feel complete? And you know is do I see marriage? It's almost like this energy of don't go on dates with someone who wouldn't make a good mate. And I feel like they're kind of going through that and kind of thinking about it, the energy and uh seeing, and it understand that it's not really coming from an emotional side as much as from an analytical side. They're basically being very logical. And it would just seems to be like their, you know, personality is analytical, air signy, logical, kind of approach to you know, all those things. And it feels like it's positive right now with all this energy. So I do feel it thinking about you and that they are contemplating that energy. And from what I'm picking up, it feels like it's going well in the analysis stage of it. So, of course, that's based on current energies. Things always can change. So don't get your hopes up like, "Oh my god, he's gonna ask me to marry him," going, "All right, well, that's good that they're, contemplating that. We'll see how that unfolds." And tit for tat, I'm gonna see, are they someone that I would marry or be in a relationship with? Fair's fair. Alright, that's what they got for you, Priscilla. Many blessings. And then Touch O Love, you are up. Here is your timestamp. And you want to know, will Pisces come back into your life? Based on current energies, will they come back into your life here? Um, Based on current energies, it doesn't appear to be. We've got the Five of Swords, which is conflict energy, and the Ace of Cups is a new love interest kind of energy that's here. Um, so I don't feel like they're headed in that direction based on their current energies here. It does feel like they're uh, and maybe the conflict is distance, but there's some sort of conflict that they see between the two of you, and there's something less conflicting that's newer in their life right now. So based on current energies, doesn't feel like that they would head back into your life here. So that's what they got there for you. Touch of love. Hang in there. And then we have Velvet Flare Witch. I love it. Here is your timestamp. And you found out that he blocked you. Why? And is it a sign I was disturbing him? Like he didn't like our connection? Let's take a look here. So, why? And what else can we know here? Yeah, the Queen of Cups energy here. A lot of emotional energy that's coming in. I feel what's the other card here too? Yeah, we got the Five of Pentacles energy. It it doesn't feel like so much that you were disturbing him, uh, and didn't like your connection, it's almost like there's this fear energy that's behind it, right? Queen of Cups, very empathic, very, um, someone who's, an empath, very connected to the spirit world, and I feel like they were picking up from you that, um, you you know things, and it's very vulnerable, like, "I can't hide anything from you." And you're like, "Why? What would you have to hide?" Right? But there's also this vulnerability in this, "Holy crap." Some people are uncomfortable you being able to be there behind the walls that they have up. You tap on the shoulder and you're like, "Hey," and you're like, "How did you get in here?" And you're like, "I can go anywhere. I'm an empath." What's in here? What's in these drawers that you don't want people to see? Get out. And this 5 of Pentacles is an energy of the fear of being abandoned, being left behind, not being enough, um, kind of energy. And so it feels more that fear, because that's what people do, you know. And I like this. I saw something on Instagram today, and um, it's I should share who they are, at some point, because I love their channel. Because it's something that he said was, if someone like ghosts us or does something, thank you, because don't be afraid, like, we deserve to have communication and clarity and a mature adult that can talk through things and do this. People who block and go, whoop, um, aren't mature. They can't bring us the emotional maturity that we need and that we deserve. And if people do that, it's like, thank you. Thank you for showing me that you're not at the emotional maturity level to have a real relationship. You're acting like a high schooler, or younger. So it's like, thank you. This isn't about me. This is about their reaction. And because you would be willing to talk through things, you wouldn't, block someone and not talk about, you know, say, I'm not getting enough, response, or when you talk this way, it kind of brings up some old wounds, and I'd like to talk about this or whatever. They know, right? And this Queen of Cups also talks about your emotional maturity. So consider it a blessing. Thank you for showing me you're a jerk. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for showing me that you can't you know match my energy. So I like that awareness. Just hit that. Okay. So that's what they got for you, Velvet Flare Witch. Many blessings to you. Then we got CJ. You were up 31808. So CJ and cats. Here is your timestamp. And you're like a reading for this weekend. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about this weekend coming up here? Well, yeah, you have a fun weekend ahead. It's not as bad as it looks. Got the 9 of Swords, the Nightmare and Insomnia card, and the 3 of Swords, which is heartache and expectations equal disappointment. But, there's no bad cards in tarot. That's my opinion. Because everything like this is about some disappointments, and some thoughts and beliefs are being brought up so that you can be freed from them. Both of this energy is conflicting energy of thoughts, of expectations not being met, and feeling exhausted, trying to live up to other people's expectations, and or feeling tired of people disappointing us. And when we get tired enough, then we take time to look at something. And I feel like this weekend is a lot of great reflection, great time to do some journaling, just to get some thoughts out of your head and onto paper, and some disappointments, and go, why do I expect these things? Where does that come from? And how can I release myself from expecting these things on myself and expecting it on others? Where does it exist in both worlds, the external world and in my inner world? And how can I be freed from it? So it does feel like a weekend of kind of, I don't necessarily say it's conflict, but it's processing mental conflict that you either have had that's bubbling back up or, etc. But I know it can be as enjoyable or as suffering as you'd like it to be. But that's up to you. So enjoy it if you like. All right, that's what they have for you, CJ. Hang in there. We're going to send you lots of love energy this weekend. All right, many blessings to you. All right, hey, Happy Pill. Good to see you. Got you on the free list here. All right, and then we have me is up. So me, we got 3:20:34. Here is your timestamp. And you wanted to know, will the truth finally come out surrounding your father and brother's deaths? Look, and do they know how much they were loved? Oh, of course, yeah, they do. We'll pull a card here for it. So will it come out the surroundings? The Two of Swords is the story, the power of story, um, is being brought up here. Conflicting stories, and I don't feel like the capital T truth is gonna come out. I feel like there'll be a lot of different stories because everyone has the power of story. Everyone makes up a story about what they see in the outside world. That's why 100 different people can perceive it 100 different ways, and I feel like they're saying it doesn't matter, the story, to them anyway. It doesn't matter to them if the story comes out or not, because 'cause they're like, "We know the true story." Um, Even our perception of when it was happening didn't wasn't true because we were seeing the world through our own eyes, not through reality. No one sees the world as it truly is. We just see the world as we are. So whatever we're conditioned with and whatever we grow up with is how we perceive the world. And none of us see it truthfully. But when we're on the other side, we see through beyond all of that from the higher perspective, and then we see truth. And they're like, and we're cool. There's no judgment. We have no judgment. We have no hatred or any lower vibration towards anyone. Do they know how much they were loved? Oh, yeah. Sun card. Oh, yeah, baby, we do. Shining bright. They see the clarity. And that's the whole thing is when we pass and, we're on the other side, we get to understand everyone's thoughts, everyone's feelings, everyone's decisions, everyone's emotions. We get to feel everything and experience everything in everyone, all the way back to when they were in the womb. So they understand why people, acted the way they acted, didn't do the things that they were supposed to do, said things they shouldn't have said, or were silent when they should have said something, and they understand it, they get it, and there's no judgment. They're like, yeah, we're basking in the beautiful love light. And so, and they understand that they were loved, but whether they were or not wouldn't change how they feel about themselves on the other side, because we connect back to the eternal unconditional love that we are, when we're over there, and we can experience it here too. We can connect and let that be our sense of worth. So they're like, whether people loved us or not wouldn't make a difference. How if the truth comes out, whether we die, how we died or not, doesn't make a difference to us. That's more a human concern because humans are so concerned about so many things. They're funny. They're like, we're good. We be good. So that's what's coming in for you, me. So hopefully that helps. Many blessings to you. All right. And then we got Livier Vergara. You are up. So 3:24:11 is yours. Here's your timestamp. And you want to ask for a general reading for the coming week. Let's take a look here. General read for the coming week. Looks like you get 3. You got 2 sets. You got, but this new adventure. Letting go of expectations, looking at the world of possibilities. There is a possibility here of a new adventure. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, we got the 6 of Swords. and the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is about being true to your authentic self, standing tall, being bright, not dimming your light, not defending what you're wanting. And the Six of Swords is letting go of some old ways of thinking, allowing you to see things from a different perspective. And when you do that, that's what brings forward this new adventure. So it's about, you know, not trying to please everyone else with the Seven of Wands, going, I'm a bright sun, I'm going to be me. And the Six of Swords is going, I'm not letting things limit me. I'm seeing things from this higher perspective and looking global, not local. That's funny that they say that with this little boat here, this little movement. And this does allow you this world of possibilities and new adventure that can begin if we'll step outside of that and not let anything limit. So I like this energy. It feels like there's very much this movement from choppy waters to calmer waters, out of my head into the sun and shining bright and moving forward kind of energy. So I like that. Not local, look global. Look for things around the world that you'd like to go to. So we'll see what that means. All right. That's what they have for you, Olivier. Many blessings to you. We got Cat Mia. Meow meow. Hello, hello. Here is your time stamp. Boom, boom. And what difference you make after going that path versus not going that path, or there's no difference except for experience. All right, let's do a shuffle here. See what we got going on. So if you go that path, and if you don't go that path, if you go that path, you got the King of Cups. This feels like very balanced energy between head and heart, something that feels like it fits like a glove, very royal and regal. That's positive energy. Uh, if you don't go that path, then it's more of the Page of Swords. You do gain clarity through not going, but it feels like here more so the going that path feels like something that fits like a glove and something that's right in alignment with you. You'd still learn something by not going that path. You'd gain some clarity, but out of the two, it feels like going that path seems more you, more in alignment with you right now. So anything else here? Because it feels like it helps you. Yeah, and that makes sense. The Page of Swords is only mental, where the Page of Swords because of the sword suit. But all kings, it's an emotional connection, but also all kings get an Ace of Swords behind the scenes. So it's like going that path feels like it gets the best of both worlds. The other one feels like it brings you clarity of mind, but it doesn't bring the heart into it, if that resonates. Right? So that's what they have for you, Cat Mia. Hopefully that helps. Many blessings to you. All right. Sean G, you are up for your free reading. Thank you again for your multiple donations earlier. Here is your timestamp for the free. And how does your landlord feel that I'm answering back to her? Or how you're answering back to her? All right, let's take a look here. We got that. We got that here. I like it. Well, you have the Knight of Wands, which is the fastest moving horse on fire energy, a bit reactive, but the Three of Cups, I don't feel like they're taking it personally a whole lot because the Three of Cups feels like that the decisions that are being made are not theirs. It feels like it's part of this group or whatever. And so they feel your reaction. They're going, well, it's not me. It's you guys being, making me do this. So I feel like they're passing on the buck in a way. I feel like they get, but then that's how they resolve it is they realize this is these three people, them and two others that are the ones in charge. But I feel like it's the two above her that are the ones that are making the decisions of what not to do and to do and all this kind of stuff, and they're just kind of the one that has to communicate it and or not do something, and they almost feel kind of caught in between, um, because there's a lot more we talked about this, right? There's a lot more going on behind the scenes, even beyond, the selling and the, being on the verge of bankruptcy and stuff. I feel there's a lot of conflict between the 3 of them, as well. So, it almost feels like maybe not physically abusive kind of thing, but, um, verbally abusive and, this kind of, a lot of fire between all 3 of them too. So, that's what happens when we get into fear, we act like children and fight, right? So, I feel like that's what's going in there. Hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings. Right. Then we have Ravit. You are up 3:30:51. There is your timestamps. Hello, hello. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. I'd like a general reading, and I love you. I love you too. You're so sweet. All right, we got this and we got this. So, what does Spirit have for you right now? You do have the Strength card and the Four of Cups. I like this energy because this does talk about like this is your human side, this is your higher self, and this speaks of this relationship that you're building with your higher self. And the Four of Cups shows this as well, because these are the 3 cups of the outside world relationships with humans, situations like jobs and education, and things, our bodies, our bank accounts, possessions. Up here in the tree, that's your higher self, your higher love, your the chalice of who you are. And I feel like a lot of what you're experiencing and going through now is this emptiness, like things just don't fulfill you. It's like you're promised these expectations that when this happens, that you're going to feel better. When you find love, you're going to like, wow, when you find this. And you're like, why is it so empty? Right. And it's because those 3 cups of the outside world can't fulfill us. They can't fill us up. Like when we turn inward and upward, to our higher self and the spiritual posse, where we get to experience eternal, unconditional love. So I feel like right now you're really, everything points us back inward and upward, inward and upward, inward and upward. And you're doing that and you're experiencing this and you're starting to grow your self love and your self esteem and your self confidence. And you're realizing, I'm more than this human character. I am this. I'm more than just this playing this human character. I'm this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. I'm so much more than I've ever been taught. I'm not this limited person. I'm not restricted. I am abundant and endless. So I like this that you're stepping into this awareness of who you really are and developing this beautiful relationship with your spiritual posse and your higher self too. You're being invited to see beyond the eyes of this world and seeing things from that higher perspective. So I love that for you, Ravit. That's what they have for you right now. Many blessings to you. Then we got Blueberry. Ooh, 3:33:33. Look at that. So Blueberry, you got all of those threes. Message regarding your father's current situation. All right, let's take a quick sip here. All right. So if this has anything to do with medical or anything like that, disclaimer down in the description area of the video. I'm not a licensed medical professional, legal counselor, anything. Tarot is for fun and entertainment purposes. So check the description box. Disclaimer made. Check. So let's see. What does Spirit want you to know here? Let's see. They wanted to give you 3. You got 2 and 1. Yep. So there is this movement of change. There's the 5 of Cups is like sorrow and lower vibration, but the Page of Cups is heightened um, energy, heightened emotional energy. So it's and the 5 of Cups is a movement from lower to higher vibration as well. The possibility of it, but the Page of Cups tells us that their condition or situation is going to be taking a turn for a happier place. Yeah, and even got the Sun card here, which is again one of the brightest, biggest, happiest cards in the deck too. So it does feel like, this sun, this brightness, this harvest, this abundant energy is coming in here for it. So it does feel like things are going to change, things will switch, and there's great possibilities for it. And with that sun card, it's really depends on how, like, where is your father's energy? If they're focusing in on the lower, they'll kind of expand it, makes it harder and less for the abundance. The more they're grateful and the more they're focusing on abundance, then the bigger that comes in as well. So the change happens faster, the growth or the recovery, whatever it is bigger and brighter. So there is that change. The emotional energy does so much for our lives. And if we're focusing on the lack and fears and need, then that pushes it and makes it harder, right? But that higher vibration, unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and um, I said laughter, play, that more higher vibrational energy of like children takes us into wonderful places. So hopefully that helps, Blueberry. That's what we have for you. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Maria P, you are up. Thank you again for your dual donations earlier. Here's your timestamp for your free reading and a general for you and Wally. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here? Get this one and this one here. All right. Yeah, I like this. You've got this progression energy from the 6 of the major arcana to the 7. I'm sorry, from the 7 to the 8, or see, progression's progression. The numbers following each other. But I like this strength card because the strength card is courage and finding both of your inner courages allows you to step forward. And the chariot card is a abundance card. It is a victory card. It's a lot of action and movement, but it's the power of choice card. And, a great reminder that whatever we focus on is what grows and expands. And even, with the strength card, you've got both the lower human of the cat and the higher of our higher self, the higher vibration, and that whatever we focus on is what grows and expands. And I feel like it's an important to realize you're both creating a joint reality together, right? Your choices create your reality. Their choices create their reality, but you have this overlapping reality that you're creating together. But your experience of it is individual. It's like going on a road trip with someone. And if you're choosing to be in a happy mood, no matter how grumpy the driver is, it's going to feel like a faster trip for you because you're listening in your iPod and you're watching movies and you're reading a book or whatever, and you're having a great old time, even though Grumpy Pants is rah, 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 rah. It's going to feel like a forever ride for them and a abundant, full, fast trip for you. Both in the same car, both in the same experience, but both people can experience things differently. Not saying he's a grumpy pants, but just as an example that your experience is your own, their experience is their own by your power of what story are you putting to things? What emotions are you choosing to feel and allowing yourself to continue to feel? What energy are you putting forward in both your mental, emotional, and physical action energy? And what physical actions are you taking? You're creating your reality and they're creating theirs. And I feel like that's important to know. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings. All righty. And then we have Happy Pill. You're up 339.24. Oops. Try that again. There we go. Must have fat fingered it. There we go. So there is your timestamp in like an April month reading. I know, right? We're halfway, almost way through March already. What the heck? So for April, looks like you get 3 cards. You got these 2. Wow. There is this ending and beginning energy in the outside world. You got the 10 of Pentacles with the Death card. 10 of Pentacles by itself is abundance, but with this combo, I'm really feeling like something in the outside world comes to an end and there's a rebirth. Let's see what your other card is here. Yeah. Wow. So you got the Wheel of Fortune, which is the major arcana number 10. So definitely a significant ending and new beginning in April, but it's for you. That's the tune of for you, where even your human will be like, yes, this is great. That whatever this is that ends opens up something that it's almost like a dam gets blown up, not literally, but it's whatever is holding you back. It just feels like there's this significant ending that just clears up the path and then you're like, here we go, and now it can flow. And it is abundance energy. I mean, you got the 10 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune along with the Death card. So it's not, well, every ending is always for us, even if we can't see it at the time. But with the Wheel of Fortune, that does show you that even your human is going to go, yeah, this is what needed to happen. And I'm so glad it did. Look what it opened up for me. So that is what they have for you, Happy Pill. So many blessings to you. It's one thing anyway for April. Sounds like a big thing, but that's what they got. All right. I think that might be everything here. So if you haven't got into the giveaway, I do have a giveaway every new moon and full moon. We have one coming up next week. So if you want to get into that new moon giveaway, be sure to check out that link. Also, all of the links to my playlist are in the description area or on my main channel page on YouTube at the very top. You can always find the giveaway list, the new moon energy, making the most of moon energy. Playlist and my podcast too. And speaking of, we do have here the Making the Most of New Moon Energy that I just put out earlier today. And if you click on that, that will, do tell you about how to make the most of that new moon energy that's there. Of the 10 wishes and intentions that are there. And then also I have a free podcast called The Easier Path. And that's the most recent one, but the playlist, of course, is on the main page in that as well. And we do this podcast to help provide information on how to make our path an easier path. We talk about a drama or trauma that I've been through or someone else has volunteered and asked about. We find out the human reason why the human does what they do, and then also the what else? The spirit's perspective of why things happen, and then hints on from spirit on how to make an easier path instead of a harder one. So be sure to check those out. Those are all free, and they are helpful there. Hey, me, you did not hear me. Oh, we did complete yours. Let me see here. I always post a pinned comment at the end of each session, which I'll be doing here as I end this one. Here's your timestamp since you're here right now. But just for everyone's information, after I'm done with the session, I will, in moments, pin a comment listing all of the readings with timestamps. So you can always, if you come back after the session is done, you can look for your name, click on it, it takes you right to your reading. It's very fancy. So hopefully you enjoy that, me. All right. So that's what we got, everybody. I'm on Wednesday through Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Have some fun. Why are we being so serious? It's a playground. Let's go play. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.